Good evening, everyone. How is it going? Gossek and Garth, how are you both going? Thank you all so much for popping in. It is great to see you both. We're back again after a very deep foray into Guild Wars 1 with some Guild Wars 2 today. Goddess, welcome in. It's great to see you as well. Hope you're having a great day. But yeah, we are going to go and do some strikes. We're going to do some raids. We're going to have a great time tonight. We're going to focus a lot on our gold farming as well and kind of take stock of what we need for another legendary sigil, which should be our last legendary sigil we need for the next little while as well. Just make sure our audio is working. Excellent. It is music to my ears. And this character has those permanent gathering tools. Okay. It's actually really been a while since we've messed with any of these inventories, and they're very upsetting. They're not making me very comfortable, so let's fix some of that. Blop. Blop. There we go. Almost much better. Oh, so used to managing the inventory in Guild Wars 2. Compared to Guild Wars 1, this is a nice little change. Just look, everything just disappears. It's all perfect. We're happy. Ah, good. Yes. Now, I think we'll see how much we need in terms of gold. We have 209 gold at the moment. Let's actually pull up Guild Wars 2 efficiency and let's see what we need to do. Bring that here. Okay. So if we go crafting, let's check. We'll go and do a legendary sigil. So we're getting to the point where we do not need any more sigils. Okay, so we need 386 gold and using our own materials. Let's see. Shopping list. We want 6 more spirit shards. Not enough, 1 more mystic coin. I'm glad I didn't sell everything there, so that's good. So 360 gold. I'm just doing a bit of really sketchy head math. No, I won't just go to an alt account and blast a weekly, which would get us all the gold. No, we said we were going to go and do some Revenant stuff tonight, and that's definitely what I intend. Or else we're going to have to do a bunch of like really cursed gameplay, I think, especially in PvP on completely fresh accounts. To blast that through in a really efficient manner, but that's fine. That amount of gold for us is pretty easy for us to obtain overall. So we basically need another 180, ballpark just another 200 gold, because if we did instant buy, okay, so a bit more than that, probably around the 220 gold. Roy, welcome in, great to see you. Let's go account and see what is living in our material storage for us to liquidate. Like, I could liquidate most of everything. Most of the gold here is actually tied up in the mystic coins, which we do need. Again, I liquidated this not too long ago, so there's actually not a huge amount of gold here for me to really take advantage of, which is okay in the cosmic scheme of things. I think I've bought all the upgrade extractors. After the strike, you end up trying to learn Spectre and Chronomancer. Excellent. And how did you enjoy Spectre and Chronomancer? Which one of those ended up being your favourite? You need Mystic Coins. We all need Mystic Coins. Gossek. We really do. Okay, that's okay. We'll focus on our gold farm. Like that. What have I got there? Ruin the fireworks? Okay, I guess I've got those there for some reason. I have no memory as to what they were originally used for, but that's okay. Homestead recipe book? Yeah, we'll gobble that up. Nice. A chrono was easier to put together and learn, but Spectre was more engaging. Ah, that's a good point, yeah. Well, I'm glad that you at least found something to enjoy on most classes. And yeah, Chronomancer, especially if you're doing like Boon Chronomancer, you can just throw full Berserker's gear on it and you're good to go. Whereas Spectre, it's usually going to require some combination of like Vipers or Rituals gear, which is a bit annoying to obtain. I really enjoy Spectre as well. It's sort of been my go-to open world build for the last little bit. Look at all these build templates. Okay, I feel like we might go Viper gear. We got our spear there and we're quite happy. And even if we do... Where is Condi Quick Herald? There it is. Oh, hang on, his head's not as ridiculous as it should be. Actually, that's unacceptable. Our priorities are not in line. There we go. Yes. Duck. Yep, I'm the most fearsome Revenant there. Okay. Do I have... Oh, I don't have the timers module up. Oh, I don't have Blishard up. Okay, that's like... No, that's not good at all. Let's get Blishard up. Oh, right now you're doing your world completion to get your legendary nearly done after 10 years. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Now, will Blishard be active? There it is. Okay. Now, in terms of currencies we're sitting on, that can be easily converted. Got a few laurels that can be done. What I probably should do... Let's see. No, that's Nexus. That's not the Wizard's Vault. It's this one. Okay, I've straight up bought everything good from the Wizard's Vault aside from that fancy pants chest there, which is not that important for us. Okay. We need candy corn. Piece of candy corn, and we'll just get 2 stacks of that. Snowflake. Kill them all. And get a stack. Sets us back a little bit in terms of gold, but we will make that back in terms of spirit shards really quickly. So there we go. We got 5 hours of experience bonuses there. That generates 10 hours of that boost. We'll just sell some of that off. Perfect. And we are now a piece of candy corn. Now we'll sell off... Actually, these I think we can just sell. It generates us a tiny bit. We've got a few extra things here. Superior Sigil of Strength. I might actually start liquidating some of these. Because once we are done... Oh, we just learned that there are legendary relics and sigils 2 days ago, so now you have to do list got longer. The journey to full legendary is a long one, but it's incredibly rewarding. But I totally feel you. Sell that. I can now sell anything really that is not nailed down in terms of sigils, which is good. Torment and Earth, yep, get rid of them. Get rid of them. Because once I am done, we will have 4 legendary sigils. Yeah, I'll probably be able to finish off a legendary sigil, I think, on Wednesday at this rate. Just the rate I'll be able to generate some gold. And it was a compact. I don't know, get rid of those continue coins. Okay. That's in business now. Guild Heroes banner, we'll make sure we use that. We are now rocking many boosts. Now, Alt-E, do I have the thing? No, I need to actually add it in. Blishard, Manage Modules, Module Repo, actually. I want the event timer. Event table install. PK, what's up? It's great to see you. Manage Modules. Timers. Event table, enable. Yep, that's fine. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's back up now. Can we... Oh, I need to turn all those off. Oh, that's too many things. Okay. Doppelganger. Arthur Fire. Elmo Riverlands. Doppel. Doing this correlates to more spirit shards and more gold. The things we need. Oh no. And Alt Shift H, hide arc. Wild magic dispersed. Zoom out. And Divine, when housing dropped, did something get updated for guild halls as well? I'm not 100% sure. I feel as though like there may have been some increases to guild hall upgrade numbers that you can have, but I haven't actually partaken in guild hall decoration in quite some time. And you welcome in, used to be your game back in the day. There's no reason it can't be your game once again today. But yeah, I played Guild Wars 2 like basically for the last 12 years, and it's been fantastic every single time that I do. But welcome in, it's great to see you. And yeah, how far back did you used to play? Oh, I need to turn those off. That's right, the main thing here was for me to get into this particular map. Let's fix that. Event table. Yes, there we go. Okay. Reminders. Manage reminders. Uncheck all. Yeah, it's cool. I don't actually need to see any of them. What if we can hit a Verdant Brink Matriarch as well shortly? Feels good to be back in Guild Wars 2's mount system. Just the movement of the game is so much more modern as well, so that's nice. I wonder if they're from Guild Wars 1. Who knows? They might be. They generally do a great job of looking after the lore there. Make sure we hit up Doppelganger, because that's just going to be a free amalgamated gemstone, which, how much are they going for now? Oh, Trading Post, I have missed you. Amalgamated, why does that not search? Okay, so about 1.2 gold. You've also lost getting back on your max guy, you haven't played in forever. Oh, definitely not. Coming back. Totally like understand how you're feeling, because coming back after a bit of time off, especially if it's been a long time, it's super hard to, you know, pick up where you left off and figure out what to do. So if you're coming back to the game, a good thing to do couldn't be, you know, to make a new character and sort of just play through the story a bit just to get your bearings and then just see what's happening in the game around you, and that will give you a lot more of an idea of the goals to go for. And if you don't feel like making a character, I do recommend sort of just picking up, you know, the story where you left off. Because it's going to open a lot more areas in the world for you. It's going to reintroduce you to the game and its general mechanics in a much more directed way. So I feel like that's going to make your life much easier. But yeah, the feeling of overwhelm coming back, that's a super common feeling. Brainstorm Elemental? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, just Glint Heal there. Stun Break. Dodge through there. Love the combat system for Guild Wars 2. It's so good. And what's the target? Well, right now we're just finishing off this event here while we wait for the wild magic to be collected and we can start the actual doppelganger event.
Behold, dragon and heroes together.
Spirit shard, nice. The main thing we actually need to pull our legendary sigil together. Actually, no, we're kind of limited by gold at this rate. Like, not really. I could, if I just went a bit unhinged, I could probably get all the gold that I need tonight to crack our legendary sigil. But to do that in the time that we have, it's going to require me to crack out an alt account and do like really cursed PvP weekly farming. Okay, doppelganger is up. Keep an eye on the event timers. Nice. Yeah, the combat system for Guild Wars 2 is just incredible. Doppelganger is up. Apparently, let's go. Maybe. Just where you are. How does this thing work? Hey, there he is. What are we doing on boons? You're gonna be one of those water drinking moods. Imposter syndrome. Okay, we just got some achievement points. I know not what for. And yeah, Gothic does have a full home instance as well, so if you are on EU, make sure you take him up on that. Just more free AP, nice. Okay, so if we do this next one, let's contemplate a few really easy ways to generate some more gold. Thea, how's it going? Great to see you. I'm going very, very well. Thank you for asking. Let's go Celestial. An open world renegade, I think. What was the ping there? That I felt that one in my bones a bit. It could actually be my keyboard messing up. That has been a little bit on the funnier side lately. Yep, that is feeling a bit jank. Hey, I'm gonna have to fix that later. Oh, yep. Yep, that's the keyboard. No, I will fix that after we deal with this hero point. We've got a few minutes for the next event. The reason we're doing this... Oh, it's freaking out. Yeah, what's been happening with my keyboard, I think it might be due to the USB port that I got it plugged into, but it's actually like sending multiple inputs sometimes and not others and just having massive delays. So what's happening now is a whole bunch of skills aren't firing as they should. So it feels a bit like moving a shopping trolley on ice, but that's not a game problem, that's my keyboard problem. Oh, it's bad. Okay, the reason we do that is because we get airship parts and just some gear. Okay, I'm just going to pop this here. Alright, under the desk we go. Let's swap the thing for our keyboard. Here it is. Let's put you directly in. Maybe this spot. Way too big for this. Which way? This one. There we go. The thing with USBs, it's never the first time you put them in. It's never the second time. It's always the third. Hey, there we go. It's working now. Maybe. See if there's any treasure mushroom in this area. Doesn't look like it. That's fine, not too fussed about that. Good, we're all back in business now. How many? I've got 15, cool. 15 crowbars.
You can never have too much treasure.
A strong box, we'll open that. Are we working on something in particular or just daily routine? The main thing we're working towards is a bit of gold farming for a legendary sigil. So right now, because it's also been a little bit since we dived back into Guild Wars 2, I'm just sort of recentering and refamiliarizing myself by doing what I know are profitable events sort of in the meantime.
Blood Legion, see it done.
That, throw that down.
Put your best into it.
The reason I'm just doing some hero events in the time before this next meta event spawns is because they do actually generate quite a lot of experience and quite a decent amount of gold for very little investment as well.
Ordnance incoming.
And a Celestial build is very, very good for dealing with those events. See, there we go, get some airship parts and 2 things of rare gear. And you had the biggest Guild Wars 2 itch for the last few days. I'm very glad to see you back. Well, I'm glad that I can fill that sort of role and scratch that itch. It can sort of live vicariously through me. And Griffin. And now to find where we need to go. So we have another event popping up in a few minutes. Yeah, it's up here. There we go. Okay. It's over here. There we go. So this one, there's everyone. This one will spawn in just a minute. We'll grab some food. Why don't we? Open up all that. There we go. Get some more rare gear. Keep an eye as well. Where is Guild Wars 2 efficiency? It's over here. Let's check. No, it's Legendary Sigil. And yes, use my own mats, and we'll tell that to update. Probs for instant buy. That might actually just be what I do because I'll be a bit lazy. So that, get an amalgamated gemstone, sell that off. Sell that while we wait. Where are we at for other useful currencies? Badges on I can really just use for gear. I do need to get some more provisions tokens soon. Volatile magic, we're kind of actually at a number where I can convert that now. Same thing for Tyrian defense seals, that's not too bad. I can do some stuff with those. But yeah, the biggest thing I'm sort of sitting on at the moment is probably a little bit of volatile magic. Laurels as well I can convert. So yeah, let's see how that goes. As well, if I can finish the weekly, I'll generate some gold from that. Group events, yeah, we'll finish those off. Gauntlet, bit of Cryptus, that's rift farming, and a home instance, and that's all done. What I will probably end up getting, I don't really care too much for the skins, they're not really what I'm here for. I can always get those later when I'm not in as much of a gold farming mood. It's probably just going to be the raw gold, I think. Need to fix up the Arc DPS font. Hey, want to join farm? Oh, thanks, guys. I'll hold off just for the time being, purely because there's a few meta events I really want to hit up first. But I appreciate the offer.
The time is at hand for Blood Legion. See it done.
There you go, just pumping out 20k on a Selly build, good times. That gets events off, and then we hit up Crystal Oasis. And then if we can join... Yeah, if we can join up on a Anomaly... That will be good. Crystal Oasis, Pinata Taxi. Let's see if we can join in. No, I won't join that one. I don't care about the particular one. Go to this next one. Join. There we go. Said, what meta events would you say are priority for gold farming with Matriarch? Anything you can think of as rare, unidentifies, and the amalgamated for selling? Yeah, really any sort of meta event that's going to give you like amalgamated, ambergris, anything like that are going to be pretty high priority, but also it's important to consider as well how long the meta events take as well. Like Auric Basin's always a really good one because it gives you a ton of gear, and you also get, I think, get maybe some amalgamated from that. I'm not actually 100% sure, I've forgotten. But yeah, that one's a great one. Pinata's great because it's over and done with super quickly. Matriarch is great. A lot of the End of Dragons meta events are actually insanely helpful, insanely profitable to farm, because the Imperial Favor you get, you can convert to gold either through crafting End of Dragons legendaries or just End of Dragons precursor weapons. So those ones are really good, and they also just follow a chain as well. So if I was looking at the ones, if I was in very much an open world gold farming mood, see, just before I did Doppelganger, then I went up to Matriarch, then I can hit up Pinata here, and then from here I can then hopefully hit up Leyline Anomaly as well. And then I would probably go down towards Chak Garant, because you can get a bit of gold from that, especially if you're lucky and land the Infusion. The Infusion actually increases the approximate gold you'd make from that a lot. But yeah, even just looking at End of Dragons here, you'd start in Aetherblade Assault, you'd do that, you'd move on to Kynang Blackout, then you'd go into the Gang War meta event, and then into Dragon's End, and then you'd basically just repeat through that. And that would be really profitable. But yeah, those are probably, like, yeah, Auric Basin I mentioned in there as well. And if there are people running Living World Season 4 meta event trains, they're also really good ones to get as well, because volatile magic's actually insanely valuable because you can convert it into trophy shipments. But the meta events I'm doing right now are really good because of the... Make sure I don't die here. They're really good because of the amalgamated gemstones that I'll get. End of Dragons is good for the Imperial Fave you get, as well as just the general loot and things like Ambergris and Antique Summoning Stones. Oh yeah, grab your Antique Summoning Stones as well. That's just like some gold that I'm missing out on. Or you can just run Guard, there was no time, it's the highest profit meta. Oh, okay, so what makes that one the highest profit meta? So the issue I've found with Gaiala, even if it is profitable, you may not necessarily find that many people running it. Rusty Thrower, welcome in. You're new, you can't decide on which class to play. What is the easiest one? Great question. Well, every class will have builds that are easiest to play. Overall, the classes I recommend for new players are Necromancer, because you get the second health bar with Death Shroud, which is incredibly handy. It's great for survivability, also has some very easy builds. I like Ranger for new players as well, because you get the AI control pet, which can help sort of take aggro for you as well, and is also conceptually quite easy to play. Guardian as well also has one of the just absolute easiest, somewhat passable DPS builds in the game. You literally just sit there and auto attack on hammer and it kind of just works. But it's a build that has a great wide variety. It's a class has a great wide variety of builds available to it. It has a lot of great defensive utility, relatively simple to play as well. So they're the ones I sort of recommend. But other really easy builds that stand out, super low intensity ones, there's Engineer with Mechanist. You can just basically camp on Rifle and just spam all skills off cooldown and it will do pretty decent damage. There's a few variants of Pistol, Thief. You just literally set your 3 skill to auto attack and that will do okay damage. Hammer Core Guardian or Hammer Dragon Hunter. Same deal, you just auto attack on Hammer. But yeah, every class will have builds that are on the easier side as well. I have all the expansions and the first 2. Think you're not sure if you need the others right now. I definitely recommend getting all the expansions. Like if you want all the content, you need all the expansions. And especially because Guild Wars 2 really sort of encourage you to bounce around between the different expansion areas, a good amount. So that's just always a good thing to do. But if you're still, taking your time and enjoying the, the first 2 expansions, Heart of Thorns and Path of Fire, you can always just wait for a sale and see when one of those pops up and then grab the expansions from there. But yeah, no doubt, the expansions are fantastic value and the best thing you can do for your overall enjoyment of the game. Engineer is really, really fun. Like, I've mained every class at some point in my 12 years, 11,000 hours in the game. And yeah, Engineer, especially Rifle Mechanist. Yeah, Power Rifle Mechanist, which is a subclass of it. You'll get those once you get level 80, but that's a really solid, dependable DPS build that's super chill to play. And Necromancer is great as well. It's probably my second favourite class. And Ranger, Necro, and Engineer seem to be the easiest to start for you. I can definitely see that. Engineer, it depends a bit on the build that you're playing. If you're just like camping Rifle, it's pretty chill, but if you're playing something that uses a lot of the kits, it's going to be a bit more complicated to play. You try out NG first. Necro is a really cool class, but it gets better tools that come in X-Pack classes once you get to 80. Yeah, absolutely. It really comes into its own once you get like Reaper, Scourge, and Harbinger later. And welcome back, Verme. Yeah, I can see what you're saying about core game Necro being a bit underwhelming. Yeah, it really comes into its own once you get Reaper. Then yeah, you're off to the races. You're going to have a really good time with that. Another Spirit Shard, happy days, very pleased with that. Core game range is pretty simple. Yeah, it is. Like even core game Thief is relatively simple, Warrior is pretty simple. Core classes generally, like there's perfectly good functional builds that aren't going to be hugely difficult to play. But really, Guild Wars 2 is a game that encourages you to play multiple classes, and if you play Guild Wars 2 long enough, you will just end up with one of everything, because so much of what you do in Guild Wars 2 and so much of the rewards you get are account bound rather than character bound, so it's not as though you're missing out if you, play multiple characters. It's not like you really need a main character, it just comes down to what you like.
Kill shot.
Oh, I gotta go deal with these, hang on.
Signal the citadel.
Love Renegade Spirits. Red Pistol Thief, super easy. Yeah, Core Ranger, pretty easy. Core Guard, pretty easy. Core Warrior. Don't love Core Mesmer. Mostly because the clones get a bit finicky to manage. That one really feels better once you get like Virtuoso and Chronomancer, I think. But it's been a hot minute since I looked at Core Mesmer. I wish Rev had the new F1 when you leveled up. Seems like such a cool skill. Yeah, it's just a really nice skill. You just get some extra energy and some nice effects. It's a really good sort of introduction to Rev, actually. Rev was a bit of a weird one because it was obviously introduced with Heart of Thorns. It wasn't in the core game, and it came out like with its elite specialization Herald, and as soon as you get it to 80, you just make a beeline for Herald, because Herald is better than core Rev. Hell yeah, Double Pistol Deadeye, yep, super chill to play. I also really like Double Pistol Daredevil as well. Slightly, and I mean slightly more involved to play. And it's the difference between a 1 on the difficulty scale and maybe a 3 or a 4. But it does give you a lot more damage, I find, which I really appreciate.
Welcome to Amnoon. Kill them all.
Rev launch leveling was pain. Oh, it's been so long since I did that. And I think I also... Let's grab that. I think I also... Yeah, when I first made my Revenant, I stockpiled like all the Ascender gear I need and all of the Tomes of Knowledge I need, so I just instant boosted that to 80. Core Rev has no damage. Core Rev actually, it's not bad. Especially Condi. Like, Condi actually pumps out fairly respectable damage. And Power will do okay. It's simple to play, it's durable, like you're not going to be getting high DPS benchmarks with it, but I feel like you can probably push like 30-ish something K on there, which is fine. Yeah, it does have damage. Yeah, it does. Because yeah, I've tried out Core Rev in raids before just for lols, and yeah, it worked. It did the job. No, mine prob's not going to get there. And your Scourge is what Core Necro should have been. Simple but effective Condi spam, Reap and Harb, other fun upgrade. Yeah, Scourge feels like just an improved Necromancer in every way. Okay, let's see where we are at for that. Oh, it's the quickest meta boss in the game. Yep, it really is. No infusion for us, very sad. That's alright, we can just sell those off. And a few other super chill, easy things we can do. We'll just dip from squad now. We don't need to be there. We're going to go to Arborstone now. Just do that to save myself on the waypoint cost. Afaro, what's up, mate? It's great to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Just trying to see, just sort of tick off the easy wins in terms of gold farming so we can get progress towards our legendary Sigil. Let's grab that.
Isn't alive to see his niece drag our good reputation straight through the guano.
That would be nice. Oh, okay. Well, you went with Celestial Double Sword Staff. You found it horrible to open world. Oh, yeah. If you're running swords and staff, like that's a power sort of loadout there. So you're 100% you want and need Berserker's gear for that. If you're not running Berserker's gear, you're going to have a bad time. Because, yeah, Celestial will translate very well to the Condi spec. Celestial gear does not translate well to power builds at all. So we just finished Return to EOD. Got the Janthia Wilds finale soon, but with the next expansion we pushed back, do you think we'll see Return to Soto? Or do we start over with Living World Season 1? It's a very good question. I don't know. Return to Soto I could see making a lot of sense because, yeah, certain areas of Soto aren't particularly populated, so that could be a really cool thing. What class are you playing right now? It looks fun. I'm playing Revenant right now, so I'm playing, like, as of this instant, I'm playing Renegade. It's elite specialization. But I cycle through a lot of different builds here. You can see I've got 8 different builds here, and what I quite often run, I can run like Condi Quick Herald here. So yeah, another subclass. Then I've got a Vindicator build here as well. And the spear weapon requires Janthia Wilds. Yeah, the spear, you need the Janthia Wilds expansion. But yeah, it's a good time. Okay. Now, let's also Central Terrier squads. Do Behemoth Gauntlet. Is this also... Behemoth Gauntlet is Blaze Ridge, I'm pretty sure. I have not even set foot in this map on this character. But Renegade I really, really enjoy. It is one of my favourite classes. What's your race? I'm playing a Char right now.
Pillage.
Yeah, Condi Renegade can run short bow with Mace Axe and does about the same. Yeah, in fact, it'll probably actually do a bit more than me just being a bit lazy and camping Spear. Oh yeah, if you're a new player, Wizard's Vault. Do your Wizard's Vault achievements and rewards. It's this little icon sitting up here. Do your weeklies, do your dailies, do your specials. Because yeah, then you can buy a whole bunch of things for the for your astral claim that you get. Particularly the gold here, the mystic coins, which I've already bought. You can get legendary starter kit. Oh, I give it a go with an elite. Like core rev is very basic. I'd say it's definitely a dull class. But yeah, it really comes into its own once you get its elite specs. It was kind of sort of designed with its elite specs in mind from the start. I feel like core rev, because of how it was introduced, because it was introduced with Heart of Thorns, just when elite specs came into the game. So a lot of the core classes, they were there for a few years just in that state, so they were designed to be really sort of good and fun in their own right, whereas I feel like Rev was designed of, okay, we're introducing Rev to the game with Heart of Thorns, people are just going to get Herald immediately. As fast as they can, really, so we don't need to put too much emphasis on core Rev. It's still fine, but I don't think it's the most fleshed out of the core classes. It feels like you're missing something compared to other classes, I think. It will work, but I don't think it has the same depth, really. Okay. So we've done that. Let's see. We do... So we want Cryptus, so if we do Rift Hunting and Convergences. Meta, Nabar, Terra. We join that. Do I have any TP to friends? No.
And that's how amazing I am.
What game is this? This is Guild Wars 2. For this very instant, I will jump on... Hang on. Let's just check. Account. I'll just see literally where I have a teleport to friend. I have none. That is not helpful. Okay, that's fine. We'll go on this character and just put ourselves there. Core Rev feels like the utility half of Herald when it came out. They assumed you'd run Glint by default, and they just made Legends to add utility to the spec. Yeah, it does sort of feel like that. Herald feels like this is what Revenant was designed to be from the start, and yeah, it's just like you run another Legend alongside Glint for a particular kind of utility. But now it's like, oh, you're just running two utility sides. It's sort of what it feels like. What do you think about Vindicator and Renegade? Renegade is personally one of my favorite classes to play. It has great damage, great utility. It has a very smooth, perfectly looping rotation that's very rewarding to pull off. It's great in open world as well. Great AoE damage. I just really, really like it.
Do not relent.
Oh, we're doing this event now. That's fine, I guess. And Vindicator, fantastic. Like, great burst damage, incredibly survivable in open world. Hang on, I'm going to not run this set. Can I open these? Oh, I can. I just literally burst into the chest.
That's valuable.
But yeah, I've got guides on both Condition Damage Renegade and Power Vindicator over on my YouTube channel as well. Let's see, build guides. Let's try this. Power Vindicator. I'll just send that one to Twitch. Yep, and then on the Renegade. Let's see if that works. Hey, cool, I got the commands right. There we go, got some build guides on them there. Power Vindicator, especially with the Sigil of Stamina, is really, really fun in open world because so much of a good chunk of your damage is tied to your dodge, and Sigil of Stamina will just refill your endurance every single time you kill a mob. So if you're in open world and you're bursting down mobs, your endurance is functionally infinite. So it's really, really fun in open world, and it's a relatively simple and durable to play DPS build as well with great burst damage, great utility, so it's good. Hey, I did a thing. Hooray. Oh, what's my favourite class in the game? My favourite class is Revenant. That's been my main for quite a few years now. But I've mained everything at various points. I was a Thief main for a while, Warrior main, Ellie main, Ranger main. I've mained literally everything.
Safe from harm.
Mostly doing this so I can kill many Cryptus. One thing that Herald is fantastic for is because you provide so many boons in such a wide radius around you. You basically get credit for everyone's kill who you have given boons to. So you get boons, they kill someone, you get credit for their kill. And because you provide so many boons, such a wide radius, you effectively, just by existing, tag everything around you. Even main Rituals and Sorcerers for a little while. That's it, I've even main classes that aren't even in Guild Wars 2. Yeah, oddly enough, actually staying down here is pretty profitable for me. So glad you tried out Herald, it's fun. It's just really, I find simple to play and incredibly effective for how simple it is. It's just keep your little energy arrows pointing to the left, generate quickness, press good skills, and profit. That's really it. You know, Harp Celeste 360 radius, yeah. Going from 600 radius to 360 is rough. Manta, welcome in. What motivates you to keep playing Guild Wars 2? There's a lot of great reasons for that. And over on my YouTube channel, I've actually made a video about the reasons why I play Guild Wars 2 and why I think everyone else should too. But the main reasons at its core is lack of a sub fee. So it's just incredibly respectful of your time and money as well. I haven't spent, like, outside of expansions, real money in Guild Wars 2 in years. I love the combat system for the game. It's probably the overall main reason. Yeah, give grenades here. The combat system's incredibly fun and rewarding to play, so it feels good to pilot your character, and it feels rewarding to, you know, do well in combat. It feels great. Let's throw these here. Yas. Did I succeed? I think I did. The art style of the game looks fantastic. For a game that's 12 years old, it still looks really good. The community's fantastic. But yeah, there's so many reasons. And there's so many different areas of the game that you can dive into and enjoy as well. So if you're ever tired of one particular area in the game, you can just go and play something else. Let's throw this down here. You're still unsure exactly how Revenant works. Well, the main way that Revenant works is, yeah, you have skill cooldowns, like typical time-based cooldowns that you would for your skills, but you also have energy, like think sort of a mana system that you might see in other games. So you have both of those systems to contend with, and every time you swap between your two legends, so effectively your two sets of utility skills, you get your energy refilled to 50, and then when you're not consuming energy, your energy pulls up and then you can use it again. So you basically have this constantly fluctuating pool of energy, and you're trying to squeeze in as many like good skills into that energy budget that you have. And because of how energy works, you want to constantly be consuming it, then refilling it, you're going to be swapping between legends very, very frequently. That's sort of at its core how Revenant works. It's swapping between legends to refill your energy and using that energy to do good things.
Recharge your grenades with that essence. Quickly now!
Yeah, think of it as a big water tank. Skills that use energy are just you scooping out water. Upkeep skills that drain energy are faucets that drain the tank. Yeah, that's exactly it. And you constantly have a faucet putting it in water so you can have the same amount coming in and going out too. Yeah, that's a really good metaphor for it. It's really just a big tank of energy, big tank of water that you're constantly like emptying and filling. And you start to get a feel for that the more you play it. And one of the key things about Renegade in particular, this is a thing that's very unique to a lot of Renegade builds, because Renegade is a very greedy piglet when it comes to how much energy it consumes, as you have the trait Charge Miss. So when you swap legends, when you are below 10 energy, instead of refilling to 50 energy, you instead refill to 75, so you get some extra energy for free. And a big part of playing Renegade is timing your rotation. Where are we going? Down here, I think. Is timing your rotation such that you always swap below 10 energy, so you have more energy to play with. Yeah, herald you pulse spoons as long as you are draining water from tank, that's exactly it. And what GPU do I use? I'm just using a 4060 Ti, but I'm on a 1440p monitor as well, which probably helps. Oh, Mr. Gator, sorry, Oscar. Welcome in, though. It's great to see you. We stood in many things there that we should not have. It's fine though. We should count as many cryptids being killed. Well, not really. Counts towards a few.
Go forth, my minion.
And let's go maybe down this way. Oh yeah, the Mount System Guild was too. Incredible. Best in any MMO.
We're storming their palace and they still don't learn.
I need to remember the rotation on Spear. I just keep forgetting it.
Lightning bolt! Flash free!
It's been a hot minute since I've done this meta event as well. Cool, it seems to be fairly well split. We'll see how this event goes. This one can be a bit cursed. More events being done. And good, I've got some experience bonuses there. That's good because I need many spirit shards. This will actually be a very good way for me to get spirit shards. Oh, hi Addy, what's up, pumpkin? The skill queuing on Spectre Wells, though, is a bit on the jank side. I mean, switching legends when it runs out, is that the right way? That's basically it, yeah. And then, yeah, the rate at which you drain energy will largely end up sort of like... You'll end up consuming energy to the point where you will be wanting to swap legends off cooldown, basically, on every DPS build. If that makes sense. But that is basically correct. And yeah, you can get more energy, well, you can sort of pool it by not using skills that consume energy. There are traits for which you can consume energy, or generate more energy as well. There's a trait in corruption, which means you get more energy, or basically your upkeeps cost less, but you end up inflicting torment on yourself every second. But that's basically correct. And every DPS build, its rotation will end up being basically to the point where you will swap legends off cooldown because you refill more, or refill your energy, and refilling your energy means that you can then start doing good stuff again. Maybe a bit different on something like Heal Herald or something in particular. That one can definitely camp in the same legend for quite a bit longer because it's a bit less energy hungry. Elizabeth, welcome in. It's great to see you.
Maybe when this is over, you'll get stationed somewhere more pleasant.
Respectfully, I prefer to be where the action is.
Flash free!
Good night. A splendid combination. It's poison.
Rebound! Rocket punch!
I make a pretty good team.
I still haven't figured out when weapon swap should be done, just sticking with Spear Herald. Depends on the build you're playing. If you're playing something like Power Herald or Power Revenant and you just have, say, like a sword and a staff, or a great sword and a staff, you'll really just stay on your DPS weapon until you need the utility on staff. If you're on something like Condi Revenant, you will typically swap weapons immediately after you swap legends. Now, the reason for that is because a lot of the Condi Revenant builds actually run weapon sigils that will trigger things on swap. And the trick with Revenant and Legend swaps is they actually count as a weapon swap as far as the game is concerned. So what you do is if you have two separate swapping sigils, say like a Sigil of Doom, which does poison when you swap weapons, and a Sigil of Geomancy, which will do bleeding when you swap weapons, you start on one weapon, you swap legends, you trigger the swapping sigil on that. So you might trigger Sigil of Doom on that. And then when you swap weapons again, you'll swap to your new weapon that has the Sigil of Geomancy, you'll trigger that again. And because the legend cooldown is always the same as your sigil cooldown, it's your weapon swap cooldown as well, they sync up perfectly. So if you're running a Condi Revenant, you will basically mostly always want to swap weapons whenever you swap legends, like immediately after. Legend swap, then weapon swap. That way you get the double proc. It's a little bit of a trick on Revenant. But if you are just running like the one DPS weapon and then a utility weapon, like say you could be running a spear, which is a Condi DPS weapon, and staff, which is a very much a healing and CC based weapon, you just stay on your DPS weapon until you need the utility from staff. So it depends on what you're running. But yeah, if you're running 2 DPS weapons, even if that's the case, if you're running DPS weapons on a power build as well, it's not just for Condi. But it usually just works out so that you will swap weapons whenever you legend swap, if you have 2 good DPS weapons. Oh, I think you're running spear and shortbow? In that case, yeah. What are you running? Like Revenant? Are you running Herald, Renegade? Because the answer might be a bit different for both. But yeah, honestly, between those, I think the difference would be so negligible, you can just kinda camp on whichever weapon you prefer. I'm running Herald. Okay, I've got to actually do this. There we go. Many things. Okay, so if you're running Herald, that's a Condi one with those weapons, so you'd be running Glint and Malix. I would probably run... In that case, I would probably run, in your case, run like Spear when you are in Glint and Shortbow when you're in Malix. I think that'll probably work out alright, but you can kind of just sort of vibe out with it there. So I think like the most optimal version of the build, if I was to go Snow Crows, bring it up here. Come on, give it a minute. Let's go Revenant. Yeah, we'll just kill some things there. And that will be under Condi Quickness Herald. Well, that's got, there's a few versions, Shortbow, Mace, and Mace Axe. Quickness Herald, Spear, and Mace Axe. Yeah, so there's literally different variants of the build you can run. And yeah, you can run like Spear and Shortbow as well. It's honestly fine, especially if you're just messing around in like open world. But yeah, on this one, it looks as though when you're in Demon Stance, you're in Mace Axe, so in your case, you might be in Shortbow. And when you swap back to Glint, then you're going to swap back into Spear there. So that will work. And if you run out of energy too soon, you might want to chill out and spamming. Yeah, you sort of get a feel for how much energy you can consume at any point. But yeah, in your case, if you're running Condi Herald and you got Spear and you got Shortbow, I'd be on Spear when you're in Glint, and Shortbow when you're in Malix. It's going to make it much easier for you to learn any future rotation. Honestly, like nowadays though, I kind of just camp Spear. It's fine. Let's grab that, I guess. Folks, and welcome in. Do you have good builds for Rangers like Untamed? I've got a great build for Power Soul Beast there. Actually, my best performing video of all of them. But yeah, there's a lot of great builds out there for Ranger. Druid's great. There's a lot of great Untamed builds as well. Soul Beast is fantastic. Untamed is like one of the most absolutely cracked open world builds out there. But if I was to go just to Snow Crows here and go raids, grab something for Ranger. Where is it? I can't read. But yeah, there's like great builds there as well. And yeah, when you look at things like Handcart Soul Beast, Hybrid Soul Beast, even though, you know, these are like a year old, just because they haven't needed to be changed. Because a lot of ranger builds have actually been quite consistent for a while. It's not so much that they're outdated, it just means they haven't had a need to change. Where is it? So heal alacrity druid, like that build hasn't needed to change. Yeah, not updated doesn't mean not outdated. Yeah, it just means they haven't had the need to update it. And Maradon, they're suggesting Mace Axe for a slower rotation as DPS is close to Spear but requires less APM. Okay. That's good, because I haven't actually like looked into the optimal rotations for Herald for quite a bit, because I've just been vibing out on it. And yeah, with Condi Revenant in particular, you can run sort of any variant of the Condi weapons, like Mace, Axe, Shortbow, and Spear, and for most people the difference is going to be pretty negligible. I personally really like running Spear and Shortbow, because Spear is just a great one to chill out and camp on, and Shortbow is great if you want some more ranged options and some more CC.
Until then, keep your guard up. There's no telling what might be waiting for us here.
But beautiful, we're going to take a quick few minute break to go stretch our legs. We've been going for a bit, so yeah, everyone sit tight, and yeah, we'll continue on with this meta event in a little smidge, so see you in a minute. Do you want a tool that can help you get the perfect build set up every time? Aren't you curious which of these many sigils and runes is the best for you? Have you always dreamed of being able to tailor your build to exactly what you need? Well, you're in luck. Today, we're covering one of the most overpowered Guild Wars 2 tools around, the Discretized Gear Optimizer. Welcome back everyone. I've mentioned it in my last few videos, and today we're finally delving into the detail about the Gear Optimizer. This is basically a tool which will let you compare different gear, runes, sigils, and food to see which is going to be the best choice for your specific build. It takes so much of the mystery away from selecting your ideal gear and food, and makes theory crafting your own builds infinitely easier. Right off the bat, I'm not affiliated with Discretize, and I didn't develop this tool. I just use it all the time and think it's one of the best tools you, as a discerning Guild Wars 2 connoisseur, can use. So let's delve in and master this tool together. First up, we'll need to select our game mode. We can choose between Fractals, Raids, and World vs World. The main difference between the Fractals mode and the others is that the Fractal mode will consider the various Fractal potions and your total Agony resistance. These give you extra stats, and ideally will give you a different gear loadout from the other areas of the game. If you're really into Fractals and want to have some specific Fractal builds, then feel free to select this option. Just remember that the build you optimize specifically for Fractals might not be the best choice for other areas of the game, due to you missing stats from the Fractal potions. For most players though, the Raid option will be the best choice. Select your class and build from the list of classes at the top of the page. Most of the current meta builds should be included here. If for some reason your build isn't here, select one that is closest to what you need and we can customize it later on. For this video, I'm going to be looking at the Power Quickness Herald build we have lined up for our next build guide. For the skills section, depending on what class and builds you pick, there will be different skills and passive buffs, usually from signets, included and checked here. Here we can see the tool has given us Burst of Strength, which gives us increased damage for 10 seconds after we use it. It's also assumed this buff is active 87.7% of the time. Let's just leave this as is for now. It's also listed Vengeful Hammers, which is the upkeep skill when we're in Jalis stance. This skill reduces our incoming physical and Condi damage, which isn't overly important today. So for now, let's just leave this unchecked. Take a quick look at these, see if they make sense for your build, and move on. And if you just started out using this tool, there generally shouldn't be any need for you to change these. In this next section, you can start choosing what runes, sigils, and food items we want to compare. Depending on what build you choose at the beginning, there will be different options already included for you. You can either remove some of these options or add new ones if you please. One very important thing to remember for this tool is that it will go through and compare every combination of runes, sigils, food, and gear you include. If you add too many of these, it is going to take a hideously long time for the tool to complete, so try and only select things that are relevant to your build. While this tool doesn't include every relevant item in the game, it does include basically all relevant ones you're going to come across. So no need to worry about all those super obscure runes that nobody uses. For our Sigil 1, we already have Sigil of Force included. Perfect. For Sigil 2, we now have some options to choose from. We have Sigil of Air, Accuracy, Impact, and Concentration. The tool will go through and compare each of these sigils to find out which is the best in our case. For runes, let's just leave it at Scholar. For now, let's leave our food and utility slots as they are. If you like, you can remove the Ascended food options and replace them with their regular version, in this case, a sweet and spicy butternut squash. This will result in your build having slightly lower damage due to the lack of lifesteal on crit. The buffs and boons section should automatically be filled with the realistic boons and buffs that you need. Note that this section does include the specific Jade bot tier as well, so remember to check if your build benefits from having extra vitality. In the infusion section, we can specify what type of infusions we want to include in our build if we really want to min-max. There are also some options on the left hand side for some common pairings. For now, we'll just leave this blank and we'll come back to it later. In the stat options section, we can choose what kind of gear stats we want to compare. These should be pre-populated depending on your starting build choice. In this case, we have Berserker, Assassin, and Diviner, which seems reasonable. If we wanted, we could also go through and include Dragon's gear if we wanted to compare it. Just remember, adding in too many stat types here will really slow down the tool, so don't be a goofy goober here. We'll come back to the section after to play with some of the rarity controls, which can be surprisingly useful. The 4 slot section is very useful, especially if you don't have access to legendary gear yet. Here, I could specify what gear I already have and don't want to change. For example, I could tell the tool that I want to keep all my existing Berserker's trinkets and just let it change the remaining slots. Once again, we shall return. In the priority section, we have a whole bunch of constraints to tell the Okay, we are back. Welcome back, team. So let's go and... how do we get in there? Hey, there we go. Nice. How is he going? Let's go that. I'm going to interact with that. Let's get way station. I can actually do that now. I think I want the red one for Condi. Damage increase. Okay, let's go stack on peeps. Maybe here. Welcome in, great dude. It's great to see you. And oh, that's really sad to hear. Let's go find most people. Oh, his essence level is like... why is that so high? Nah. Oh, instantly died. Oh, there we go. We can actually press that now. And I always find as well, depending on the build that you're playing, there can be a few very easy tweaks to it that you can make to make it like really easy to play as well. A few like good simplifications. And quite often when I make a build guide, those are things I kind of take into account. Because yeah, I don't like recommending builds to people that are... I don't like recommending builds to people that are outrageously complicated to play, that people just aren't realistically going to be able to do. Probably need to do this here. But ease of play is a very important consideration, I think. Because this will actually count as Cryptus being dealt with as well. And yeah, I can definitely see why the version of build just show on the SC side is a very hotly debated topic. There's so many different versions, and yeah, they won't necessarily show the highest DPS option. It will be a bit of a balancing act in consideration between what's like user friendly and good to play. Because I think even if you look at the Power Renegade builds as well, the Power Renegade and Power Vindicator builds as well, they will basically never show the full DPS rotation because the full maximum sweaty DPS rotation relies on a bug. So they don't tend to actually show it. go deal with these. Make sure those all eventually die. Can I stand? I need 4 people to stand this. This one's going to hurt. Let's just start healing. Sparrow, how are you going? So good to see you, mate. Thank you for popping in. And yeah, I agree, PK. It's great that they've gone the route of providing variety and options as well, rather than being like, here's the one build that you can run, because that's never really what it's actually saying. It's like, you know, here's what we recommend as, you know, the best possible option. Oh, and for me, back in the day, the optimal power mech build was using the mech skills to interrupt its auto attack rotation. Since the first skills were higher DPS than the last, optimal power mech was easy one of the hardest optimal builds back when everyone was playing it. Oh yeah, like I vaguely remember hearing about that. Of like to actually get the, you know, proper numbers out of it, you'd have to do some really cursed things. But yeah, that's just like another case where it's like, okay, what they actually recommend people do is not like the highest DPS option, because no one's ever going to do that. And when's the new Guild Wars 2 expansion coming? Yeah, it should be October. But I'm going very well, Sparrow. How about yourself? Oh, you answered that. Good. I'm glad you're going well. That's my bad, getting distracted. Okay, we are doing the Epoch meta now, because we're diving back to Guild Wars 2, sort of taking stock of the things we need for our last legendary Sigil. Well, that needs to go. I need to actually remember what I recommended.
I make a pretty good team.
2, 2, 2, 4. There we go, that kind of works. We've yet to succeed in this meta. It's definitely it's a bit of a problematic meta at times.
Ready for more.
I think... Are we on track? I honestly don't know. Yeah, I agree. It does make the build list look a bit more on the cluttered side now. This might succeed, we'll see. Yeah, these are starting to get a bit out of hand. We've got 3 open now. And it's good, they have been adding in more open world builds as well lately, which has been really nice. But quite often for like a lot of open world builds, you can sort of just take the raid build and maybe just add a bit more survivability and personal boon generation to it, and you're kind of off to the races. I don't think this one's going to succeed. He's got 20 stacks now. Okay, I might even just go here and honestly start bursting to try and just see what we can do. Yeah, this ain't succeeding. I think in the case of Snow Crows as well, when it comes to their open world builds, like I'm not the one who's like made any of their open world builds, nor am I 100% sure, but I feel as though it's the case of they want to make as few changes to the raid build as is like practical, so people can take a raid build and transfer it into open world. And things like Power Weaver in particular, and a lot of Elementalist builds, unless you're making...
Your strength will not be wasted.
Oof. Yeah, like keeping the raid gear or close to it. Yeah, and I think for the vast majority of people, like a lot of people don't want to run multiple a lot of people don't want to run multiple sets of gear, and quite often for a lot of open world builds, if you just take a Condi build and throw Celestial gear on it, you're fine, you're kind of done. But yeah, particularly taking power builds into open world, yeah, a lot of power builds, aside from maybe throwing on a Relic of Zakharos, you're not really going to have a huge amount of survivability. This minute can still fail? It can, yeah. But they nerfed it. They did. It can still fail. But that's alright. We're mostly there to kill the Cryptus. I honestly wasn't expecting that to succeed. Also, I'll just keep telling myself to avoid the sadness and existential dread, but we'll roll with it nonetheless. Okay, let's see if we can grab a full...
Rare loot.
Oh, nice. Good amount of loot there. Just purely to save me processing this, I might even just insta-sell that. Okay, Sigil of Blight. Rage Earth. I got some things there to sell. Let's just sell off some of these. Turn that into a bit more gold. Now, I'll grab that as well.
I deserve an award.
Cool. Let's head back to this tune. See, I think a lot of people will just want to run like the one build. And that's one of the things I really like about what the YouTuber Mazel does for any of their builds. They'll give you sort of a raid DPS build, and then they'll suggest the changes they make to to turn it into somewhat of an open world build as well. With it, you know, trying to be as minimal as they can. And with open world builds as well, there's such a wide variety of what you want to do. Like, do you want to build that, you know, you can solo champions and legendary bosses on? Do you want a build that is great at mapping? Do you want a build that's great at contributing to open world events? So the definition, I think, is very broad. Oh, weekly's done? Hell yeah. So I do concentrate. Hey, there we go. And yeah, absolutely dive on into their Discord. They will love any assistance that they can get.
Buster.
Oh, Scrapper in open world will be fantastic as well. Just in general. And there's certain builds that say Weaver and Tempest in particular I can see being tricky to translate into open world in the way that people might want, because Weaver just inherently isn't a particularly survivable spec. Same thing with Tempest as well, although I put Tempest on the more survivable side. So unless you're going to go out of your way and grab something like Celestial Gear, it can be hard to make an open world build that satisfies people for that, as opposed to here are some good tweaks that we suggest to the raid build to make it more comfortable for open world, which that still to me fills the definition of an open world build. Oh, nice. I love these gathering tools. I also love what they've been doing with their accessible builds as well. I wasn't impulsing quickness on myself. And Fat Controller, welcome in. You come back to Guild Wars 2 after years. Well, welcome back. Is Sword Staff still good for Power Herald? Yeah, that's still fantastic. It's generally the option I prefer to run. Its highest DPS option is Sword and Great Sword, and you swap between them. But Sword and Staff is a great option as well. Yeah, still the power DPS stuff. Yeah, it's basically the option is going to give you high DPS while still having, well, high-ish DPS because you're a Power Herald, you're a boon provider, not DPS. But it's going to be the option that you basically just trade a bit of DPS for a lot of utility, so I really like it.
Never have too much treasure.
I do need to convert my volatile magic as well. We'll look at doing that because that's also going to be a ton of gold. Oh, Condi Herald is fantastic as well. It's generally my favourite variant of Herald to run now. Power Revenant in particular I find doesn't have a lot of weapon options, but still got some. You got sword, you got great sword. There's hammer there as well, I guess. But the Condi one's got like a good few options you can choose from, and they're all actually very competitive, so you actually have a few viable options. Like mace axes, great. Short bows, great. Spears, great. Badfish, welcome in. You found your own open world build for Untamed. Haven't seen it on your website, which makes you proud of yourself. Very durable, 20k single target DPS, flexible enough utility, able to solo tier 2 rifts. That's great. That's awesome. And yeah, Untamed in particular is one of those classes that inherently translates really well to open world, because you can provide yourself boons and you can give yourself a lot of sustain as well, and once you sort of cross those two things off the list, you're basically good to go. /P TY, there we go. According to the open world, according to the weapon matrix, Revenant has the least amount of weapons. That kind of sounds about right. I guess a lot of the build diversity comes from swapping your legends around. As your guild will know, that's someone else's home instance there. But cool, weekly is done. Now let's turn that into gold. 10 laurels. Alright, let's see where we are at. Because now it's probably the time to go and actually convert some of our volatile magic to gold, I think. Let's see as well. How am I doing on fractal relics? Like nothing. Really nothing. Okay. Volatile magic and unbound can also be converted now. So, those can be sold. That can be sold. They're runes. I might actually liquidate those. Let's get all of these in here so we can just start consuming literally everything that's not nailed down. Yes. Okay. That much I'll just sell instantly purely because I don't want to wait for it to sell. Sell. Just ditch those, they're just cluttering up space.
Never have too much treasure.
Cool, that generates a ton more ectos for us as well. Brilliant. Okay, let's also salvage that.
We
So
have
its
completed
boots get
the task
converted.
at hand.
Brilliant. So I will also pull up fast farming. So these will be under currency conversions. Let's do unbound magic first. Unbound magic also do Tyria defense seals and volatile magic. Magic warped bundle, okie dokies. Yeah, of course that's Ember Bay. So yeah, it's the expensive one. Let's turn this into a bit of gold as well. Okay, these ones. Bring that to the ceiling.
That looks valuable.
These I'll keep because I will need them. Everything else can go. That basically gets turned into more gold. Where is... Here we go. Tell that to update. Don't need any more spirit shards though. So I do need a chunk of the tier 6 and tier 5. So for that, we can simply convert volatile magic into gold now. Trophy shipments, bring that to the ceiling.
Pillage.
Everything else there can kind of just be kept, I'm pretty sure. Okay. So about magic interior defense seals. So if we get the limits, we've got to just rock the Tengu supply boxes. How many Mystic Clovers do I need? I need another 19. So yeah, we need 30 per. We can also convert these laurels into gold by doing the heavy crafting bags.
Looks valuable.
Cool, that speeds that up a bit. I'm going to buy all of the
Melissa aid you.
Philosopher's Stones that I can.
Goodbye.
And then we were going to go to Eye of the North. Cool looking character, why thank you. The North. Oh, you can do the sort of Drizzlewood reward tracks in PvE as well. They are very profitable to do. Right, so here, let's go talk to the discounted friend.
At ease.
Tengu supply boxes. Per day. Let's buy more of these. So we want Tengu. Use all.
That looks valuable.
There'll be a bunch of useful stuff in there, won't worry too much about the specifics. Okay. So I need many more globs of ecto. There we go. That will be turned to a bit more gold there. A whole bunch of other stuff I can liquidate as well. Just trying to see what the low-hanging fruit is. Those I will convert eventually. Okay, not too bad. See, have I deposited anything else in my guild bank recently? Oh, I have actually. Look at that. Just literally turning around and there is gold there. Okay. That has come together nicely. Okay, so we need 19 more clovers. We need 30. So do I have the Portable Mystic Forge? I do. I literally have it right here. Okay. And where is it? It was to Forge. Let's make this small so I can keep an eye on Mystic Clovers. 2 for 2, not bad. It's always good to do your clovers first, because then it actually generates some of the tier 6 that you need. So it saves you a little bit of gold. 5 mystic coins, not bad. I'll take those.
Never have too much treasure.
So you should do the single when doing that. I think it works out to be the most stable in terms of versions, although I need to actually check. There's something I have neglected. If I can do any of the weekly conversions as well. Because if you do the 10, like, you can get the ones you need quicker, and 10's probably good if you're doing them in bulk, but if you only need like 1 to 2 digits of Mystic Clovers, the reliability of the one recipe I think is better. Yeah, Yeah, even blue profit shards I've completely tanked on. I think skirmish claim tickets. I might be able to get a bit from World versus World. And I can probably get a few from raids. But yeah, I've straight up like drained all the currencies on this account. Where is Dugan? Here he is. Oh, we can get 5 for that. 223. Then I'll get a few from raids. I'll check to see if I have any random raid weapons that I don't need. Oh, that can go. That can go. Gleam Assaulter's Pistol, I'll keep that. Probs don't need a hammer. Probs don't need a shield. How many salvage kits? Someone mentioned Gamba, you have been summoned. Oh, I've got so many focuses, they just build up. It's mainly if I can get up to 300 magnetite. Let's buy the 5 stack of kits, and this should do it.
That looks valuable.
I don't know, we'll just get rid of that. Gating crystals. Ah, yeah, nice. We're at the correct amount now. How am I for gating crystals, actually? Oh, yeah, I actually didn't really need to do that. Oh, well. Because now we can do a conversion here for more Mystic Clovers. And then we might have some coins left over. Again, I don't know if we can do it tonight, the Legendary Sigil, but we're getting close. Spending cold and draconic lodestones during Sav, now you can't even gamble. Oh no. That's one way to put the restraint on yourself then. And what are you making right now? We're working towards our final, yeah, like our last Legendary Sigil that we need. Well, our 4th one. Before I start thinking about underwater ones. No. Why did I do the conversion? Okay, that's fine. I think this still works. That means I can do this again next week for our runes next, probably. Okay. Yeah, straight. I can't just brute force anymore. That's right. We're being rewarded by exceptional luck. I've bought all the tomes from the vault. I completely drained that some time ago.
Pillage.
Now we're being punished by our for our hubris now. There we go. Okay. So that's done. I don't need any coins for anything else down the track, so they can just go. What's the item that opens a Mystic Forge? That is the Mystic Forge conduit. Yeah, we'll list those. Oh, just hit 20k AP on your main account. Damn, congratulations. A streamer client confirmed. Don't worry, if you've seen some of the curse stuff that we've done and the incredibly bad luck that we've had, I have equaled it out. You're officially a veteran player now. Very nice. Well done. Okay. Let's check here. Shopping list, we still need more of those. Oh. One of these numbers is bigger than the other, and it is the correct number. Let's go. I was trying to drag my inventory window over to my other monitor where I normally dock things. I'm like, why isn't that working? Oh no. Oh no. Okay. We've done that. So, shopping list. Oh, damn it. Lucent motes. There we go. I should actually get some more gold coming back as well. I am amazed at how quickly this has panned out. Yeah, we have to wait for those to sell, and like we're still good. That's the instant buy is fine. Okay, I did not expect our skill at gold farming to transcend to such a point. That's right. Now we all get to play the counting game with me, though. Oh, wait. This might actually sting a bit more. I'll catch you later, Abaddon. You have a great rest of your day, mate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, thank you so much, Jess. Jess has made us a wonderful crispy satay tofu salad. That looks so good. Everyone, go check out Jess's Twitch channel as well as her YouTube channel, ConnorConCarne, where on her Twitch channel we'll soon be streaming The Last of Us, and her YouTube channel because all sorts of great cooking content. And thanks, Survivor, for the hydrate. And cool, I strategically got to 10 there so I wouldn't lose my spot. Awesome. It's got avocado in here as well. Beautiful. $14, $16, $18, $19, $20, $21, $22, $23, $24, $25, $26, $7, $28, $29. Best thing about Lucent Motes is you have to buy catastrophic amounts of them.
You keep me alive, and I'll keep making a difference.
So after Sigil runes next? I think so. Yeah, we still got 5 runes. Well, technically 6 runes we need to get if we want to do Aqua Breather. I really didn't expect this to happen so quickly. I just sort of blinked and the gold was there. Oh yeah, Legendary Relic is a bit brutal like that. Fortunately, I'm of the tenure that got it for free by having a Legendary Rune. Did she correctly on Discord, Sarah CM soon? Depends on how many people we have, unless there's been like something new here. I think at the moment, yeah, we've got 5 people lined up for Sarah CM, so especially anyone who's watching the stream, if you're on EU and want to partake in Legendary Sarah's Challenge Mode, we'll do regular Challenge Mode, then Legendary Challenge Mode after that. progression for Ceres, let me know. Because yeah, we are looking for people now. Thanks for the reminder, Faro. Racing him today. Not today, though. But we are sort of forming up a group for that. So we have 5 people lined up for it. Oh, carry us to SPA. And 48. Dinner's great. You really miss the satay tofu. Vicious Fang, almost done with the T6s.
That looks valuable.
And then Vicious Claw, I think. Yeah, we'll send Josh a message join for serious. Yeah, don't be shy, yes. Feel free to DM me. Which part of Australia are you based in? We're in South Australia. Hopefully this doesn't completely bankrupt me. Favorite part of crafting a legendary is this phase. Getting there, though. We're getting there. I can sense the bottom of the list. Yes, a very strange way to write it. I'd be happy to. And please let me know when and where. Venom Sack. 34. Favorite price when you rage is the rage crit. When the prices change and you're short on gold. Yep. That's rough. Especially if there's been a very rapid price change. Which fortunately, most parts of the Guild Wars 2 economy are pretty stable. So as long as you overshoot it, I usually find by like 20 to 30 gold, it's usually pretty safe. Even if you're doing the less smart thing and insta-buying everything like I am now, there's usually enough wiggle room. Especially on the scale of things I'm doing for a legendary sigil right now. It's probably a bit different when you get to an actual legendary weapon because the sheer sums are much larger. Hey, we're almost there. Glad we did that conversion of all our currencies. Basically everything that wasn't nailed down. We have now... Oh yeah, we have like plenty of gold left over. He says, as he probably loses all his gold. It'd be really funny if I actually wasn't tracking the correct account. I was actually tracking my NA account. That sounds like a me thing. I would definitely do that. Okay. Everything is there. So... let's see if I can do it on this character. I can probably do the Mystic Motes. I don't want to put them all in my bank. Cool, we can let that do its thing now. Oh good, I actually have 750 map storage. Nice. But after this, 4 legendary sigils, done and dusted, on our second account. Legendary relic? No, legendary sigil. Anyone's getting German Twitch ads. It's just telling you need to book a holiday, Sparrow. It's just that subtle mental conditioning. Awesome that you book an Australian flights. What other holidays do you have booked? That's brilliant. And then where are you planning to visit? Oh, you're going to Canada in July? That's awesome. Canada will be absolutely beautiful. Olympos, welcome in. Haven't finished your first legendary yet. So much work to even get one for a casual player. They definitely are a long-term goal nowadays as well. It's definitely helped a lot. Like, legendaries are still, it's a lot of work. You're putting in quite a few hours looking at him. He's glorious, magnificent. But the legendary weapon starter kit that you get from the Wizard's Vault is incredible value. See, I think these next ones all need to... these can all be done on a weaponsmith. So we can go over here. Find Sydney and doing a month of travelling to different cities to explore potentially moving there long term. Oh, that's really exciting. Sydney, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Perth, and back to the UK. Awesome. Well, I hope you have a fantastic time. And the weather, I imagine, will probably be a lot more pleasant than what you get in the UK, I guess. Depends on where you go as well. I imagine a place like Tasmania is probably relatively similar. But all those cities will be beautiful. So craft that. Oh, you love being outdoors? Excellent. Yeah, the weather in Australia, it's generally very stable. Probably the trickiest part might be like finding, you know, just a place that's like well insulated enough so the winter's not just like bitterly cold. But it depends, like if you got like a, you know, newish place, it's usually a bit common in older places as well. They like don't insulate them properly, and then the winter can be like brutal because Australian homes aren't built for the cold. outdoor scene in Australia would be fantastic as well. Okay, what was I doing here? I find it's particularly a thing that happens quite a lot in Melbourne. Usually, quite often, usually when winter comes around in Australia, you see the flood of TikToks and Instagram reels coming in, people being like, you know, I lived in Canada, I'm used to negative 10 degrees or something, and then they get like a 12-degree day in Australia, and they're like, oh my god, it is so cold. Usually just because the house isn't actually designed for cold at all. Which, yeah, I definitely found as well in like a previous place that we lived. It was like winter, it was -3 in the morning, but you come inside, and because the house wasn't well insulated, it was actually colder inside than it was outside. But if you've got a reasonably modern place, it's not too bad. And the box, what's cold for you Australians? Well, the lowest temperatures you get here? It depends on where you are in Australia. Like if you're up in certain mountainous areas where it snows, it will get quite cold. But usually in winter, the coldest it would get to maybe be like a -3 degrees Celsius for something in the morning. Whereas like typically in winter, you might be looking around sort of your 12 to 15 degrees. Whereas summer, you can get sort of like 35, 45. Okay, what was I doing? I need to get everything that I need for the forge. You're both gamers and your PC weep the place. That's a good shout as well. That's actually what Jess and I did when we first like moved in, because it was so cold. We're actually like using our gaming PCs to heat the place, and it works a treat actually. A gift of craftsmanship, that's just living in the bank, so I think that's actually fine. Okay, so now we do a whole bunch of gifts. Excellent.
Now, this is fire.
Age of problems requiring modern solutions. Especially if you're using your computer anyway, you may as well. Okay, I think we are about ready. So we now have Gift of Condensed Might, Gift of Condensed Magic. I think we're good to go. Yeah, we've got a Gift of Craftsmanship right there, so let's make this happen. So we will craft... Oh, wait. Yep, no, I'm good, actually, we're good. Okay. Mystic Mote. Mystic Clovers, Blob of Ecto, many of them, and Obi Shards. We'll create a Gift of Sigils. So now if we take a Gift of Sigils, Gift of Condensed Magic, Gift of Condensed Might, and a Gift of Craftsmanship. Okay, and 3, 2, 1.
Now, this is a find.
I will never get tired of hearing that sound. Thank you, PK. Thank you, Sparrow. Legendary Sigil. I believe that sigils contain fragments or memories from the greatest battles in Tyrion's history, Lady Nari wrote. This may be our only window into the Battle of the Three Queens. Nice. Thank you so much, PM. I really appreciate that. And yes, Madfish, enjoy your giant mode. Hell yeah. And Nemi, thank you as well. That is our 4th legendary sigil. There we go. Let's start replacing some of these. Unfortunately, I can't really extract any of these because I've actually... I think from the Wizard Vault 1, I've used up all of my Astral Acclaim. But I actually bought all the upgrade extractors from the Wizard's Vault so I could get the runes out. Wait, 4th? Yep, that's our 4th. Haven't touched underwater yet, but they will be very far down our list. That's very much once we've got like all the other legendary weapons we need. That is actually true. I don't need to change them now. At least in any of the ones where I've got some legendaries, we can. When the Wizard Vault refreshes, which should actually be in the next few weeks or so, I can buy some more. And then I can actually extract the sigils out to recoup a lot of my cost. Next you'll tell me you have 6 legendary runes. Yeah, we'll stop at that. Instead of going the full 7, we'll get the 6. But I think it will be runes probably next. Speaking of legendary weapons, can you actually craft all of them without the map completion thing? As you get a precursor from the vault? No, you still need to do map completion though. Because yeah, you get a whole bunch of stuff from the vault, but it doesn't include what you actually need from the map completion side of it. You remember how long it took you to get all the runes and sigils out after you had the legendary ones? Oh, I completely agree. Even just when I did my... Oh, I did all my legendary trinkets and a set of medium armor in the one stream just before Christmas. And yeah, going through like 25 characters and replacing everything on all of our builds. Oh, it took a lot. Yeah, the map comp is for the precursor. No, it's a component of the Gift of Mastery. So you still need to do the map comp, but at least map comp you get 2. Let's check here. Beautiful. Might go through and just replace them on here. We'll do it on this character, because I'm not going to be able to get enough. I'm not going to be able to get enough upgrade extractors to really, take care of it. Well, let's go. And these ones, I've gotten, honestly, most of the high value ones out. What was that? Oh, Earth. There we go, full legendary sigils there. I won't do it across like everything, because straight up that will unironically take me the rest of the stream. Do I have a random short bow lying around? So many great bows. No, that's fine. That can just sort of live there. Oh, it's Earth and Corruption. That's fine. I actually don't care about. I was never going to salvage those anyway. You're saying a legendary journey made me realize that also legendary sigils, you'll never be free. Don't worry, you will get there. And fortunately, legendary runes and sigils are, relatively, I'm gonna say cheap, but the word cheap's doing a lot of heavy lifting. If you place a buy order for everything, it's about 600 gold for a legendary sigil, and legendary sigils, it's basically just a gold sink. You obviously need 30 mystic clovers, so do what you got to do to get those. But then it's just purely materials. And the crafting list isn't that long. Because it would roughly be like a legendary weapon is probably the equivalent of 3 legendary runes or sigils. You're going to be free into its all field, and then you make another account like I did. So we're basically full legendary on our NA account, and now we're going for it on EU as well. What's a legendary rune going for? Yeah, legendary rune is 500. But even getting trinkets, armors, that already freed you up so much. Trinkets especially. Runes as well. Honestly, like, all legendary is insanely good. Hey, thank you, Kiara, for the stretch. I appreciate that. Thank you for the hydrate. How are you going? It's so good to see you. Yeah, I'd definitely recommend going for weapons last as well. Least value for the gold spent, yeah. The main value is the skin. Shall do. Yeah, the general order I recommend going is trinkets, then armor, and then either runes or sigils, depending on what your preference is. And then some order of weapons and or relic. The relic is a lot. Legendary, let's see what that is. Yep, I'd push that down on your list. A spear is up to accessories. Yeah, spear is good, and that's why I got a legendary spear, because yeah, a lot of my builds were actually using it. And plus I didn't actually get the Janthia spear on my NA account, so that felt like a good one to do. Are you alright? Got some achievements done today. Finish up Return to EOD and Beetle Racing today. Wonderful. That's great. I still actually have not looked at that at all. But awesome. Well done. And yeah, now's actually a very good time for us to take a quick break to stretch our legs, enjoy a video, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Oh, we got an extra special treat today? That's great to hear. I'll take a break and let me know what he got as a treat. Reaper enjoys Around the World Rejoice. After years of languishing on the outskirts of PvE content, getting laughed at by classes with their 40k DPS benchmarks, watching in horror at every set of patch notes as your axe just received another 5% damage buff, ArenaNet has finally graced us with the buffs we've been crying out for years. Now, raid bosses will battle a class 11 years in the making. Power Reaper has awoken. Welcome back, everyone. As of the last balance patch, Reaper got some massive buffs to its overall damage, and has returned from its Heart of Thorns glory days. Not only that, the Reaper Shroud 3 skill, Infusing Terror, has had its damage reduction increase from 20% all the way to 66%. This means you can stay in Reaper Shroud for longer, spin to win for big old numbers, and are more survivable than ever. All these buffs get stacked on top of Reaper's already easy to learn rotation, its hard hitting skills that feel super fun to land, and all the Lord of Death roleplay you can muster, which turns this into one of the most fun DPS builds Guild Wars 2 has to offer. It's a good time to be a Necro enjoyer, friends. Let's jump in to the premier power damage Necro spec. When you equip Reaper, your Death Shroud will be replaced by Reaper Shroud. Here, your Shroud skills get replaced by far more aggressive AoE skills. You can also get your cosplay on with the very edgelord Scythe while in Shroud. An important note, your Reaper Shroud is a big piece of the damage puzzle for you, so you'll want to avoid as much damage as possible while in there to protect your life force. More life force means more damage. Your Reaper Shroud auto attack will cleave through enemies and grant you life force on the third strike. Due to one of your Reaper traits, the last hit will also recharge your Shroud skills. Death Charge will catapult you forward, attack 9 times, and blind your enemies. This skill will be the largest overall contributor to your overall damage. Infusing Terror will grant you stability and a huge 66% damage reduction for 6 seconds. You can also reactivate this skill to fear enemies around you. Always try to activate this when you're in Shroud, just for the 66% damage reduction. This will protect your life force and let you jump into Shroud more often. Soul Spiral is one of the most fun skills on Reaper. You'll spin to win, attack 12 times, and inflict poison. You'll be wanting to use this every time you enter Shroud. Executioner's Scythe will deal a huge strike of damage and stun your target. It will also deal more damage the lower your target's health. For this reason, we'll want to be using this when our target is below 25% health for some huge punts of damage. For our weapons, we'll be taking Greatsword and Staff. On Greatsword, your auto attack chain will regenerate life force, and on the third strike, will inflict chill and completely recharge your Greatsword 2 skill, Gravedigger. Gravedigger is one of the classic Reaper skills. You'll deal damage on up to 5 enemies around you, and if you hit an enemy below 50% health, it will instantly recharge. Towards the end of your rotation, you're going to be spamming this like crazy. Death Spiral will strike 5 times, with each one being a world finisher, inflict vulnerability, and regenerate life force. Nightfall will cast an expanding AoE at your feet, blind and cripple enemies, and also convert 4 boons on enemies into conditions, which is super handy. Grasping Darkness will attack and chill foes in front of you, and regenerate life force on every hit. One thing to note though, is that this skill will have a very long aftercast, time after you've applied your damage where your character isn't doing anything. You can cancel this and speed up your rotation by casting a skill immediately after this, swapping weapons, or stowing your weapon. On Staff, your auto attack, Necrotic Grasp, will peer through enemies and regenerate life force on every strike. This skill has very low damage, so we'll only be swapping to staff for our 2 through 5 skills. Mark of Blood will deal some strike damage, inflict bleeding on your foes, as well as grant you some regeneration. Chillblains is one of your most important skills on staff. You'll deal a nice chunk of strike damage and inflict chill and poison on your enemies. It also leaves a poison field, which will be taken advantage of with the well finishes on both Gravedigger and Death Spiral. Putrid Mark will deal strike damage, act as a blast finisher, and transfer 3 of your conditions back to your target. Very nice as an emergency condition cleanse. Reaper's Mark will deal a massive spike of damage, and inflict fear on any foes that it hits. A good chunk of our skill bar is going to be dedicated to wells, which will provide ticking AoE damage over time. This damage will be amplified even further when we hop into Reaper's Shroud. Outside of that, we have a free utility slot for some extra damage or utility depending on what the fight needs. We also get some great value out of minions for the full Necro experience. Bloodfiend will summon a little friend to fight alongside you, who will transfer health to you each time it attacks. You can also quickly sacrifice it if you need a quick spike of healing. Well of Suffering will inflict vulnerability on enemies and deal 6 huge spikes of damage. This is your highest damaging utility skill. Well of Darkness has some great utility. Welcome back everyone, and yeah, we fried up some venison loin completely plain, but he has a few for a couple of days worth, and that's great. And yeah, trinkets I find are definitely the highest value overall to get, because yeah, you can use them on literally every character, so they're insanely good for that. So let's see, let's get our Viper's gear. Well, we might just run some Condi Quickness Herald, I think. Let's see if there are any raids going on. CM, Disgate. Guardian plus Spirit Wood fast. No mechanics DPS. Nah, that's fine. What we might do, let's blast out a raid wing, I think. And then maybe we can do some strikes. I think that sounds like a pretty fun time. I'm very surprised. Legendary Sigil is done. I honestly did not expect that to be done tonight. I didn't have any concept of how much gold I actually had access to, so that's pretty sweet. Okay. I was saying that's awesome there. So I've got some venison there. Okay, let's go. I'll also actually update this command. Let's fix this timer as well. Okay. Here is the IGN command. Here we go. There we go. Been meaning to fix that for a bit. Okay, let's go raid mode. Get red tag. Let's go. Clear CM, nice. 50 KP DPS. No, that's right. We'll do it with viewers. So let's go. You know what? I kind of feel like even just blasting out a quick wing 1. Wing 1, full clear. All rolls. State roll. Now, beautiful. If anyone wants to join up, you can join up on me there. And yeah, let's go blast this out. And we'll get in our squad management mindset. Get our arc DPS up. I need to change the font. I will one day remember to do such a thing. While we're here, we can perhaps also practice our rotation here as well. Oh, fresh venison for the first time ever. Nice. So we've got a Q DPS here. Okay. Edit. All clear. A heal DPS state roll. So I'm also a Q DPS. There we go. And in terms of my food, pretty sure it's just that. TY go A heal. Perfect. Couch potato said they can fill, which means they are an alack healer.
Welcome. Feel
Just
free to
self,
approach the
add
console to begin
boons, all.
combat practice. If you have any questions,
Spawn.
I'm all ears.
Let's double check the build. Yep, that looks like a correct thing. Okay. Yes, please. If you can, that would be great. Yeah, that is a sleepy Addy behind us. Thanks for the heads up there. Okay.
It has been too long. Allow me to act.
Be careful not to interrupt that. Got DPS there. Original opener was quite bad, but let's just see if we can push number higher now.
Behold, dragon and hero together.
I feel like we're still missing something though in terms of damage. 26.7, regular fractal, that's fine. Torment and Earth. Trapper is fine. Oh wow. They've got a whole bunch of DPS in there now. Okay, no one's volunteered for a heal. There we go. Let's go Y. Remove TY, go A heal. That is Mai, who will be the fill, who is Tarot. So A healer, perfect, done. Now, beautiful. Anyone wants to join? We do have a spot open there just for DPS. So if you want to join, no requirements. Doing some raiding? Yes, we are. We're doing a quick wing 1. Oh, you'll join? Excellent. Hang on. I'll remove the LFG so you can get in. Oh, damn. Sorry, it filled.
All right.
That's right. We'll be doing some strikes after Sparrow. So I'll make sure to save a spot for you there.
Platoon was ambushed. The enemy captured the
Joys of the stream delay.
deep into the woods.
That's all good. I'll make sure to save a spot for you. If anything opens up, like, I'll 100% get you in here.
Get ready for a serious fight.
Comp strike still here. Excellent. Yeah, I'll make sure to give more heads up then.
Watch your fire. That has to hurt. Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Right. And I to red. There we go.
Our moment has finally come.
Sheila 2. There we go. Let's glint heal through that.
Tell me you saw it.
Had enough?
No, no. Oh, hey, I guess I'll bring this one in. Thank you so much for the lurk, Kiara. Enemy raiding is so fun. You miss raiding, haven't raided in a long time. It is so much fun, it really is. Let's just try and mitigate that, because if we don't go in, then it won't work. Need to get some boon ripped though. There we go, got some. And yeah, best of luck with the move there, Nemi. I know moving can be like a super stressful experience, so I hope it all goes well. Just get some boon rip there.
Has finally come.
Hopefully we've got enough boon rip.
Nice of me.
Yeah, it is really stressful. Oh, it really is. There we go, just got some food down. Okay. Let's try, can I do the record B-roll button? There we go. Nice!
I chose you.
Pressure.
There's one to remember me by.
Just a bit of yourself. Do not miss it.
I make a pretty good team.
Go.
Come here.
Let's go glint heal there. And Tracker, welcome in, mate. That's so nice to hear. What are you playing right now? We are doing a raid right now. So the very first boss of Raid Wing 1. And we're rocking some Condi Quickness Herald, one of my favourite just general builds to play. Okay, so no one pulled that over, that's fine. It's definitely not a Condi fight. You need some Condi, but this fight is actually definitely one of the ones that's more power focused than anything. Oh, you can join Racing LFG? Absolutely you can, and yeah, if a spot opens, yeah, we'll definitely like open it up for people as well. They usually will always advertise like in stream first, and then we'll fill in the LFG from there. And after we do raids, we're doing some strikes as well. So you can absolutely come on in, especially if you're on EU. That's what we're on today. That's gone. So there's a new addition, so flop to your family. Nice. Dodge that way. Just cancel my Malik's Elite so I have a bit more energy, because I know the CC there costs a bit in terms of energy. Oh, the move. I gotcha.
The
Cool, we
footprints
can
have
save
been
that for
sighted.
later.
We're on their trail.
Who's there? Answer me. You did this to us.
Oh cool, log upload is working. Do need to like rename that to call like bot though, but hey. Oh, you don't want to CC Valguard in there? Okay, why is that, Scorp? Welcome in, by the way.
Kill them all.
Oh, greens don't spawn while the attack happens. Okay. Oh, cool. We got some ports. Love to see it. What's our boon table looking like? It's looking pretty happy.
Feast on their anguish. Oppression.
Pick with some super speed. There we go. I'm doing Raid Wing 1 to be like one of the most relaxing activities that I can do in the game. Let's rep Stream Guilds as well.
It has been too long. Allow me to act.
Look at me just not taking any of the ports. I'll definitely take this port though. There we go, just take that port back. It's been a very smooth run here. Yeah, ports are on point here. How many mesmers do we have? Chronomancer. Yeah, it's actually just the one. Brilliant. I should have actually just seen here. I could have told instantly. Nice. Clean as a whistle.
These ghosts aren't angry. They didn't die of natural causes.
Linux went. It's still on my list of things. Look, I still definitely want to do that. At some time in the future. It's just a matter of finding the time for it.
Our moment has finally come.
Where's this one over here?
There
we go.
Find the spirits.
So ready, check.
I have a bad feeling about this.
And like at the moment, we've done a whole bunch of tech tinkering with the upgrade to the server, as well as basically losing one of the drives that we had a whole bunch of stuff on. Just do a live stream of setting up links. That's the thing, we got to set it up somewhat for streaming first, and then try not to break things too much as we go. Just run through. So break. Should have considered taking Chalice here. But we're fine. Or at least I am. We usually grab this one here.
Come here.
This one might be the case of where we want to grab these.
Allow me to act.
Nah, we just have to commit and burn. Nice, we're fine.
That looks valuable.
No, we don't get the easy one, it's fine.
Watch your step through here.
Bounce. Oh, very bad bouncing. Bouncing was not on point. Someone's got that one. Oh, we actually just need the little baby one here.
The squad was taken through
These
here.
spirits are
Come
old.
on.
These people died a long time
Beautiful.
ago. Well before the war.
The ready spaghetti checkup. No recording started yet. For any future build, guys, are you generally a challenge enjoyer? Not usually. Usually I play the human or Sylvari characters. I just really like the animations for them more. But I noticed, had a feeling about this character being called Herald of Harold, and it being a child, it just made sense. Let's heal that.
Tell me you saw that.
Every day at work, you're reminded of how many issues, which are admittedly minor, we just have because we're running Windows, be it as an OS on a laptop, or sadly something on the servers. It can be a bit like that, and it does have its quirks. And yeah, I am looking forward to eventually running Linux. It's just dedicating the time to make sure everything can work properly. Whereas like at the moment, things are, aside from a few like minor issues, which I'm not sure if they're a my PC issue or a Windows issue, like the biggest issue I'm sort of having at the moment is occasionally my keyboard will just either not do inputs or then have a massive delay and spam all the inputs all at once. Which feels really annoying, happens infrequently, and it seems to be fine for now. Oh, would you recommend playing Mesmer or Engineer for all PvE content? Oh, they're great. Like, yeah, honestly, at the moment, I'd say Mesmer is the overall strongest class, at least in PvE, for just like pure flexibility. Because you can cover every of the main roles in PvE, and you can cover them exceptionally well. Engineer's also great for it. Covers the healers less well than what Chronomancer does, but it will still do very well at it. Let's glint heal that. There we go. Engi's probably easier. I'd say Engi's easier, yeah. Nice, that's not too bad. And yes, I enjoy Char for the comically insane fashion that you can do on them. I got a mini and we got that one. That's pretty nice.
100 gold for each head. Get chopping.
Lock it, I'll tear you apart.
Our moment has finally come.
Okay, so we've asked for cannon volunteers. Let's see. We've got a 2-4. I can always do a 1-3. There we go.
You're in my sights.
Beautiful. That is all done.
Useless. What do I pay
Start recording.
you? Deal with them myself.
1, 2, 3, 4. I will do 1-3, and I will be happy about it.
Only the worst
Just kill that sniper.
like this squad. Journey ends here.
You can never have too much treasure.
But Mesmer is fantastic. It has been for ages.
Surrender or die.
It has been too long. Allow me to act.
And Rusty, welcome back. And you bought the dual expansions. Nice. Let's go through this here. Either boost you can't decide. Like if you're a new player, I do recommend sort of just like leveling a bit naturally first, and then, you know, maybe once you get most of the way to A, then just boosting from there. Because the actual leveling experience doesn't take too long nowadays. Oh, not yet. Oh, you're brand spanking new? Okay, nice. In that case, I'd definitely recommend just playing the game normally for a while until, I don't know, maybe until you like get bored of the leveling experience. At that point, then it's a good time to, you know, maybe look at boosting from there. Just know that if you boost your character without sort of... oh, someone's game crashed. If you boost your character without, you know, having a reasonable understanding of the game, the area you're going to get thrown into, the Heart of Thorns area, is like a massive step up in difficulty compared to the core game. So you might get sort of... let's go over here. So you might get sort of slapped around a little bit. So I do recommend like leveling your first character normally, and if you do get bored, then just feel free to use the boost. Or you can just hold on to it, it's not going to go anywhere. Because the celestial gear you get from it is very, very handy.
It has been too long. Allow me to act.
Take you to it, like a legion.
And I'll show you after this as well what you should be looking at to level, you know, as quick as you can as well. Yeah, leveling the first time is pretty fun, actually. It really is. It's a fun experience. So, yeah, I recommend, especially the first time, don't rush to skip it.
It has been
Just
too
take your
long.
time with it.
Allow me to act.
Yep, that was missed. Oh, sorry, I'm seeing that your game crashed at that point. That sounds awful. Yeah, go into the achievements and look at the new character adventure guide. Yeah, if you just focus on doing those achievements, which are incredibly easy achievements tied to... oh, nice, I didn't die. Incredibly easy achievements tied to just like killing mobs, gathering, doing events. It will just give you a flood of experience and you'll level insanely quickly. Focus on card. I almost missed the cannon. And we shouldn't die from that. Nice. Aparo, thanks for the hydrate, mate. Let's just glint heal there so I don't die. Gonna want to revive some people. Oh, they seem fine. Oh, hi, Addy. Down you get. No jumping. Whoop. Get out of the group. Got through that. Nice.
Okay, everyone.
Died just at the end. Beautiful. And in a moment we'll form up for strikes. Might just take a break in a moment to go stretch our legs, and then we will return stronger than ever. But yeah, the new character adventure guide. Just press H, bring up your hero panel. Come down to achievements. Then you can come to the character adventure guide here. And then there's a series of just very, very easy, like go to a point of interest, level up, dodge attacks, very easy achievements. And then they sort of go up, you know, as you level and you complete things, but these just give you like a ton of experience. So focus on those and you'll be level 80 before you know it. Oh, what's your favorite city in Guild Wars 2? That's a good question. Old Lion's Arch and Black Citadel, great choices. My personal favorite, I think, would be the Grove. I just love the ambience of New Caledon Forest and the Groves. That's probably my favourite. It's a bit tricky to get around, so it's not actually one I spend a huge amount of time with, but that's the one where I'm like, yes, that one I really like. Oh, you're currently doing Necromancy, try Warrior next with the big ass sword? Hell yeah. Great choice, and honestly, you'll make one of everything if you play Guild Wars 2 long enough, so there's no bad choices. But we're going to be back in a few minutes, then we'll do some strikes. Sit tight, we'll see everyone in a bit. Condi Tempest is simultaneously one of the highest damaging builds in the game. It's incredibly tanky, while also being incredibly easy to play. Gone are the days where your team makes fun of you for using your downstate lava font as part of your DPS rotation. Watch as all endgame content falls before you, so you can farm those skins and take your fashion wars to the next level.
Oh my.
Welcome back everyone. I've spent the last few weeks playing Pistol Condi Tempest and it has become one of my favourite DPS builds. Here we've got a build that's incredibly easy to play, whilst being tanky, having range damage, and the ability to customize your skills to suit any encounter. Today we are rocking an absolute banger of a DPS build that has a simplified rotation that will let you hit over 40k DPS. Absolutely outstanding. Now first up, Tempest is the elite specialization for elementals that came out with Heart of Thorns. Here you can now overload your attunements for powerful AoE effects, use shouts for extra team support, as well as getting access to Warhorn as an offhand weapon, which we're going to be making use of today. Tempest is typically considered to be one of the more durable elemental specializations, at least when it comes to PvE, so now we get to take that durability and apply it to a DPS build, and we're going to have a good time. Now the most recent expansion, Secrets of the Obscure, also gave Elementalist access to Pistol. Pistol is an exceptional ranged Condi damage weapon, which we're going to be extracting incredible amounts of value from today. Whenever you use a pistol skill, excluding your auto attack, you will either generate or consume an elemental bullet, depending on whether you have one stocked already. If you take a look at your skill tooltips, you'll notice your skills have additional effects depending on whether you have an elemental bullet stocked. With this, you get to choose whether you want extra damage or defense or utility from your skills. Given we're rocking an absolute pumper of a DPS build though, we'll typically be going for the offensive option every time. This means the order in which you use your skills is very important, which we're going to be covering when we touch on our rotation later. With the new pistol, there is also a new skill called Elemental Explosion. If you have all 4 bullets stocked, you can use them all at once to inflict a ton of extra conditions, as well as granting you an aura based on which attunement you find yourself in. With our simplified build today, we won't really be making use of this skill, but the option is there if you want to try and flex your DPS muscles that little bit more. This does change how you need to manage your elemental bullets, so just keep that in mind. Now for our gear, we're going to be rocking a Viper's gear in every slot, with Rune of the Trapper for the extra condition damage and duration. On our pistol and Warhorn, we're going to be rocking Sigil of Bursting for the extra condition damage, as well as Sigil of Malice for the extra condition duration. Tempest inherently doesn't easily cap out on condition duration, and even with full Viper's gear and expertise infusions, you still don't reach 100% condition duration, so Sigil of Malice is incredible value here. Relic of the Fractal is typically your go-to condition damage relic, and that is totally true here as well. You'll inflict a lot of bleeding with this build, so Relic of the Fractal will trigger very reliably, and you'll appreciate the extra burning that you apply from the Fractal Relic because it's enhanced by several of your traits. For your food, take your preferred expertise and Condi damage food, with expertise being your main stat. Veggie flatbread is your best ascended choice. Take red lentil samosas, rare veggie pizza, or koi cake if you can't access ascended food. For your utility, take the Master Tuning Crystal. If you do want to go the route of infusions to min-max your damage, go for Spiteful infusions, the ones that give you extra expertise. You don't cap out on Condi duration with this build, so the extra expertise is the best choice here. Now for our traits. In fire, Burning Precision will give you extra burning duration and give you a chance to inflict burning on critical hits. Burning Rage will cause your Sunspot, a skill that automatically triggers whenever you swap to fire, to inflict burning. It will give it a larger radius and grant you extra condition damage. Persisting Flames will cause your fire fields generated by your weapons to last longer, and whenever your fire fields hit a target, you'll gain a stack of Persisting Flames, which will cause you to deal extra strike damage for each stack. This caps out at an extra 10% strike damage. In Earth, Serrated Stones will cause the bleeding you inflict to be more dangerous, and you'll deal 5% more damage to bleeding foes. Strength of Stone will give you extra condition damage based on your toughness, and inflict bleeding whenever you immobilize a foe. Written in Stone is an absolute banger of a trait. You'll grant yourself an aura whenever you cast a signet, which procs the trait Tempestuous Aria in Tempest, and causes your signets to still grant their passive effects after you use them. So you can still heal yourself whenever you cast a spell, Signet of Restoration, and we have the extra damage reduction from Earth, although instead of the 10% damage reduction, it's currently bugged and gives you 180 extra toughness. Not a big deal, but keep that in mind if your tank is running irresponsibly low levels of toughness. In Tempest, Unstable Conduit will make it so whenever you overload, you'll get an aura based on your attunement. Like written in stone, this pairs very well with our next trait. Tempestuous Aria will cause you to grant allies might whenever you use a shout, which isn't hugely relevant here, but it will grant you 10% extra damage and 5% extra condition damage for 5 seconds whenever you grant someone an aura. So you want to be applying auras very frequently here. Hardy Conduit will cause your overloads to grant protection and make protection be 20% more effective on you. An incredibly useful trait that makes this build really tanky, especially for a DPS build. Transcendent Tempest will reduce the time you need to spend in each element before you can overload, and after you complete an overload, you'll deal an extra 25% damage for 7 seconds, which is a huge damage modifier. For our weapons, like we said before, we're going to be rocking Pistol and Warhorn. In Fire Attunement, Scorching Shot will simply burn your foe and deal some damage. Raging Ricochet will fire a bullet that bounces to nearby enemies and you'll gain might for each target struck. And if you have a fire bullet, you can consume it, which will increase your outgoing condition damage for a while. This is going to be the main... And we are back. Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so now what we will do is form up for some strikes. So we'll start off with the IBS 5, and we'll see how much time we have left after the fact. So let's see. I will stay on Herald because I'm having an absolute blast on it. Just wait for that to finish loading. And Boxy, welcome back. It's great to see you. Cool, that is now loaded. So I will form up raid mode. Okay, beautiful. We will now start forming up. Why is that not working? Don't know why that's not working. Let's type that in here instead. Assassin's finally level 20. Very, very nice. That's great. Drew, how are you going? Welcome in. Now, beautiful. We're doing IBS 5 now, so if you are keen, join up on my account name there, or let me know in chat, and I can always flick you an invite. I'm going to join the purple class gang and get your gear together. Nice. Madfish, welcome in. Yeah. So I want an A heal, perfect. So I will go Q DPS. Perfect. Let's get a healer in. Now, beautiful. Sparrow, if you are online, come on in. I'll do my best to save you a spot. Let's go. IBS 5. Boon heal. Boon DPS. DPS. State roll. Oh, just doing some World vs. World vs. That's coming up. Well, make sure you get some sleep, mate. And thank you so much for popping in. Oh, I didn't actually reinforce my armor. We're missing out a bit of defense there. Less than I do. Oh, you're coming? Excellent. That's good. And Drew, thank you so much for the sub, mate. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much, mate. Let's see, do I actually have you on my list, Sparrow? I don't actually. I'll make sure I add you. Just let me know which one's your character when you join. Good, I'm not recording B-roll anymore. I'll have to check to see where that actually went. I think I've only got my NA account added. Okay, that's fine. In that case, yeah, that's my EU name. DPS. Let me add you here. And Sparrow, here we go. Oh, cool, you're in squad. Excellent, I've had you as a friend. Nice. I've got DPS coming, strike missions. Yeah, let me know what you want to play. Okay, we're on 7 of 10 now. I'm just monitoring that. Go ham if you can. Yeah, if you can go ham, that would be great. Because then it means I can search for a DPS, or for a Q DPS, and that's easier for me to find. Q DPS, DPS state roll, perfect. I do love these veteran classic golems. Given that we played some Guild Wars 1. Okay, let's see what we have. Looking at the squad chat, I'm probably gonna just have to do Q DPS now. That's fine. So we've asked for Q DPS, so I will start just sort of splitting people reasonably. So then I know the person who lands in sub 1 should be a Q DPS, because it does specify. Critical, welcome in. You got bamboozled by me in your shorts. Hope you're enjoying the vertical stream there. And cool, we've got Sig. Let's see if they are perfect. They are Q DPS. Nice. Job done. Let's turn our boon table on. Bone Skinner. So I'll just leave that on. It makes it far easier for me to keep track. Coming on, I think that they're coming on quick Deadeye by looks. Okay, like honestly, birthday cake food's fine. It's fine for this. And I'm not going to judge if anyone uses it. Beautiful, someone's put food down. Oh, wonderful. He said while silently judging. If I had access to that on this account, I would be using it a hell of a lot more. Side step.
Just a bit of this.
Nice, we broke the bar. Love to see it. Everyone's stacked up nicely, and they just got bopped. Down a DPS. I'm just going to wait here. Glint heal. There we go. Let's get the res. Right about there. Sidestep. Sidestep that.
It has been too long. Allow me to act.
I'm feeling frost.
This glint heal. Let's try and get some reses.
Calm before the storm.
See them? Tell me you saw them.
Well, we're doing pretty well in terms of DPS here. Love to see it. Good one for us to record. And when I missed the time when it was like Celestial Renegade was doing like 40k DPS. That was a good build. Okay, strike now will do Whisper. Let's go get back on the B-roll recording train.
Tell me you saw them.
Double check. What is the build for this? Mostly the food. I'm pretty sure I know what it is. Yep, usual food. Ah! Our DPS could be much higher as well if we were actually just swapping weapons correctly. But we're just camping spear. Is he doing raids like in WoW? In a sense, these are strike missions, which think of them as like single boss raid encounters, but also the ones we're doing now are very much on the easier side. These are the types of encounters that really serve as an introduction to endgame content. Whereas before, in the encounter we were doing, that was like a full grade.
The pains of this world are fleeting.
Dodge through some of that, and don't stand in those chains. If you stand in the chains, you will take insane ticking damage and die very quickly. It's the main dangerous part of this encounter. Break the bar. Yeah, never stand in the boss's hitbox there. And Mitt, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm just going to glint heal through that.
Pains of this world are fleeting.
One of the best things about Herald is access to your heal on glint, which just inverts all incoming damage 100% into healing. So it means you can just ignore a whole bunch of mechanics that would normally one-shot you in encounters. And yeah, Elementalists can be on the more complicated side because you do just have more skills to play with. But once you get sort of comfortable with it, you'll actually find on most builds you're only using a small number of the skills you have access to at any point. once you know the rules for how it works and the priority in which you should be shifting through your elements, it does sort of make sense. But yeah, its initial learning curve is 100% higher. Now it's this attack there, that is the big dangerous one. Ideally you'd have a necromancer put a flesh worm in the center of the boss's hitbox, which will mean all those orbs will explode in the center. It also means every single one will explode in the center. So yeah, if you were standing there, you'll basically be instantly one shot. Or a mechanist can do it as well by desummoning and then summoning their mech and just landing it straight in the boss's hitbox. And that will cause the mech to absorb all the hits instead of those orbs spreading out. So then if it plays out that way, people just stand a little bit back from the boss so they don't stand in the damaging AoEs and they go about their day. Let's go Voice and Claw. Your best and slot gear comes from different expansions. It depends on the builds. I've actually got a guide over on my YouTube channel all about the best way to gear your characters, so check that out over there. It's very, very comprehensive. But you know, for this build that I'm running now, I'm running what's called Viper's gear, so it's power, precision, condition damage, expertise, so it's basically the highest damaging condition damage gear. That gear comes generally from like Heart of Thorns, and you can get stuff from other expansions as well. Whereas any of your power builds are going to be using Berserker's gear, power, precision, ferocity, which is a core stat. And yeah, it can definitely be a bit of a double-edged sword if people are, you know, standing in the wrong spot there.
I'm in pretty good shape.
There! Target identified.
Let's target this one now.
It has been too long. Allow me to act.
Nice and lean together.
And catch you later, Boxy. You have a great one.
It has been too long. Allow me to act.
Let's heal through that incoming burst of damage. And yeah, it's definitely a good idea to ping whether you're going to be like blocking that skill. Or else, yeah, there's a very real chance that if people aren't paying attention and the boss does that attack and they're right in the hitbox, yeah, they will just get absolutely exploded. Bam, bam. Join strike mission. Rainier is next. Always tend to do a Shiv Big Pass last. Or quite often you might do the weekly or daily strike mission. Done as the last. Definitely wouldn't do it as the first, because in that case anyone who wants to be there just for the weekly instead of the full 5 might leave after the first one, because like, okay, cool, I've done the encounter I wanted. So it's good to leave that till later. You know, people getting nuked is half the fun. It's a good way to make sure people are paying attention. Do we have stability? We do.
It's time to sleep beneath the stars.
Okay, these encounters here are definitely on the easier side, so don't be afraid, like once you get to 80 you want to like jump into strike missions, just jump in groups, it's fine. Just gonna pull some boons. Just chill out here and auto attack to pull some energy. Doing pretty well in terms of damage on what is definitely a far more power-focused encounter. Let's get the res. It's good to be stacked up here in case you do go down. Raptor, thank you for the follow.
Together.
Fought so hard, but your long day has ended.
Are there any PvP games you'd be interested in but never tried? Ah, that's a tricky question because usually sort of inherently I'm not that much of a PvP player. Usually I enjoy either like single player games or co-op centered games. So Guild Wars 2 being how it is, which is very much a co-op centered game, has always like really appealed to me and scratched that itch. My need to PvP is much less frequent, so I'm trying to think of ones that kind of stand out. Because yeah, I've never really played League, Dota, or anything like that. Never played StarCraft. Usually any like online or PvP component, it's been in a game that I already enjoy, like sort of the PvP side of Pokemon. I love the Pokemon games, so doing the PvP side and that sort of like came naturally, and that's definitely the franchise where I've done the most PvP, as it were, because I've done the whole, you know, competitive VGC scene and everything, and I really enjoyed that. But I don't know, what are some other PvP games that you think I might enjoy? It's not really any that are jumping out at me. Like, there was a time where I was thinking of giving Overwatch a shot, particularly when I was having like big ping issues in Guild Wars 2. I'm like, I really want to try something with Australian servers, and Overwatch at the time, I'm sort of like jumped out as one to try, but I never got around to really trying it.
Commander, heard your
There, we went a time for the Soto and EOD strikes.
Give me that. You stay put. Be careful up there. Conditions have gotten worse since Vanguard left. We'll have to find another way up.
What's up out there? Let's throw down the Jalis Road. Cool. Yeah, my general approach to PvP is, if it's in a game that I already enjoy, I'll probably play the PvP in it.
Blocking us from following Vanguard? Makes you wonder if it's intentional, and who's pulling the strings.
The early Overwatch was pretty fun. Oh, nice. Like, how much experience do you have with it? Oh, we're really not doing well in terms of the jumping puzzle here. It's alright.
never.
No, we're still recording. I have to like trim that bit out then.
I should be there.
You're being a distraction.
I don't really need to record. Should peek past when I've got all the rest. Plus, if I do make a guide on Condi Quickness Herald, I'll do like a full clear of raid sort of in preparation for it. Yeah, the boon up time was a bit sloppy there at the start because, yeah, I messed up some of my buttons. Heal that.
I'm in pretty good shape.
It's unfortunate that they banned the game for a while to make Overwatch 2, but it seems like people are having a good time with Overwatch 2 now as well. That's really good to hear. I'm glad people are enjoying it. It's just the more games out there for people to enjoy, the better.
Sounds like that worked out okay.
But yeah, are there any sort of
Responsible. It wasn't
PvP
that-
games out there you think would probably gel quite well with me? But definitely the most PvP I've played is in like Pokemon over the years. Okay, let's go process some of this. It's good we crafted a legendary Sigil, very productive evening, and we still made out with 78 gold. And thank you, Sparrow, for coming for that. I really appreciate that. Sorry that raids filled up so quickly, but yeah, thank you so much for coming. Grab that, deposit all that. And Emia, thank you for coming as well. I really appreciate you coming along. Grab that.
That looks valuable.
I know, Clue, which rejoice since you never heard you express interest in PvP games. That's why you're curious. Yeah, they're definitely not my sort of preferred genre of games. Like I said, it's more if a game I enjoy has PvP, I'll probably do it because I enjoy the game. PvP always brings out the worst in people. That's one of the good things about doing PvP in Pokemon. There was no no voice chat, which I think would be horrible if it was. Or text chat or anything. Thank you very much, Madfish, for that. And thank you for coming. I'll deposit these and I'll process it later because I'm gonna probably need to actually do some provisioner token shenanigans sometime soon. Let's go deposit these. Let's just go process everything. Nice little pro tip. If you want to see what you can consume in your inventory, just type CONS. And it will just bring up everything you can consume. There's a cow somewhere. Oh, you played enough Dota League Insert whatever, just to stay away from PvP. That's why whenever I do PvP in Guild Wars 2, I just always turn map and team chat off. No good comes from reading it. I mean, you become salty in ranked PvP quite fast, so follow the rule of 3 lose streak. If you catch it, you stop playing for the rest of the day. That's a good thing to do as well. And that's sort of, I've done a very similar thing as well back when I was grinding PvP on my NA account to get the legendary PvP amulet. I made it so I'm like, okay, I'll get my 3 wins a day, and at that point I'll call it. And yeah, if I was getting on a losing streak, I'll just go, okay, stop it there. Because, or else you fall into the whole can't end on a loss, can't end on a loss, and all of a sudden you're 10 games deep in a losing streak and you're just having a really bad time.
Pillage.
Emmett, welcome in. You stumbled across my Power of Indy yesterday and you're going to play it. Awesome. Wonder if it's a good idea to get your Ascended gear from the Wizard's Vault. Absolutely it is. The Wizard's Vault is one of the best places to get Ascended gear. It's insanely cheap and easy to get for what it is. So yeah, 100% getting Ascended Armor and weapons from the Wizard's Vault. It's great. It's just a great choice. And Rusty, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you, mate. Do I have a... Oh, here we go. I want to use that. Oh, sweetie. That's... Cool, we've got a Sigil of Force there. Which means I can sell that. Track that there. That is a big enough spread. I'll actually list it. Okay, and everything else usually can just be pretty freely salvaged. Let's see what we do in terms of spirit shards. I might be able to get some... Oh, no, I won't be able to get any Mystic Clovers. Because I sold all my Mystic Coins and I have no Ectos now. Well, I've probably got a few Ectos actually. I've got 17. But I've yeeted all my Mystic Coins. I have to see actually when the next patch is coming out. Sigil of Force is actually pretty stable in price, you see. Yeah, I can definitely understand why it would be, because it's used basically in every single power build, and it has a relatively stable supply. And power builds are always like the easiest for people to gear up as well. Well, straight up 15 days. Okay, cool. We'll have to keep that in mind. So yeah, basically 2 weeks. So I'll make sure I plot out where that's going to be in terms of what will likely end up being drops as well. Just sell off all our junk. That can go. Million stones can go. Let's do exchanges. Get rid of that. We are now on 512. Yeah, 2 weeks to a new story. Sell off these. Maybe tease a few X-Pack at the end. That would be cool. I'm very excited to see what they do for the next expansion. And I guess we'll hold on to our luck. So I might need that for some legendary weapons down the track, I guess. Alright, now I'm just going to go on to some of the characters. Fernbrink. Some of these are Flax characters. Is there one in Tangled Depths? I want to start with that. That one. 100% would go into the Mist in the next X-Pack. That would be really, really fun. Provisioners token. Yeah, we've been neglecting doing this for a bit. I'm going to have to like build up some more gold to make sure I can do that consistently. Because yeah, we have had enough provisioners tokens for all of our sigils that we've needed. And we have enough at the moment. Yeah, we got 74 in our wallet, so we got enough for another legendary rune. But yeah, we're going to need many of these, so these will probably be one of our gating factors. I mean, there's a Titan that kept open a portal to the Mist for decades. That's very true. And yeah, with basically the only thing we'll be needing, just literally the occasional ascended weapon, we can very soon get to the point where we can just gear every single character. It'll be a few weeks, I think, and then we'll have all our legendary runes. And I don't think the character that went to Verdant Brink, I think it's this one. Oh, we can at least do that.
Please, don't hurt me.
Do you have any wishes for the next X-Pack? I think... I feel like more strike missions, I think. In terms of PvE content, it's probably two things. I love what EOD did in terms of the number of strikes that we got. That feels like a good amount of strikes. Whereas for Secrets of the Obscure, we just got 2, which doesn't feel like enough. Like if we could get, 4 strikes, I feel like that could be a pretty good amount. And I really do like... I would like them to lean into more how they've structured open world maps in Janthia Wilds, particularly with Lowland Shore. If they can double down on that and just take the good thing they've got there and carry that through and not feel the need to reiterate on what I honestly think is the best iteration of open world map design in all of Guild Wars 2, I think if they can just continue the good things they did, I think that will be great. And yeah, if they can have the map sort of consistently at the same level of polish, I think that would be good. Really, I just want like a good, consistent expansion, I think. In terms of like class design, I prefer the having a new weapon for each class kind of deal. Similar to what they did in Secrets of the Obscure. I prefer that over having just the one weapon being given to each class, and I've mentioned this before, but I don't think the other underwater weapons really translate as well as Spear does, because Trident's basically a staff, Harpoon Gun's a soggy rifle, and are those the only ones? Yeah, I think they literally are the only underwater ones, so yeah, I don't really see... Like, Trident would be the one that would translate the best. Like, I really would like to see more X-Packs. I don't think we're going to be getting them anytime soon, because I feel like the overall amount of classes and subclasses that we have within Guild Wars 2 is pretty good. I don't feel like that's something they desperately need to iterate on. But yeah, I think if they can double down on the really good open world design they did for Janthia Wilds, I think that would be great, and I would like more strike missions as well. I'm a huge raid enjoyer, and like I do want to see more raids, but I think I would prefer, compared to Mount Balrai as it stands right now, like I like that there is really difficult content, but I would kind of prefer maybe like 4 strike bosses, I think, over 1 raid, but that might just be because I'm feeling a bit starved for strike missions since Secrets of the Obscure. But yeah, what do you think? Yeah, what are you looking forward to? And what are you hoping to see? Aside from going into the mists. At some point you want a fun, repeatable solo challenge. Oh yeah, that would be really good. That I think I'd really enjoy. Yeah, if there was like fun, challenging, and rewarding solo content like that, I think that would be really, really good. That would be really fun. It'd be interesting to see what that does to the economy or something. But yeah, just give it like its own currency and maybe allow some conversions from there, and yeah, you're good to go. But yeah, so what we're going to do tonight is we are going to tee up a raid. We're going to head on out to Fireball Annie tonight. So yeah, thank you all so much, everyone, for hanging out with us. And Radon, you're looking forward to a new legendary back piece? Yeah, that's going to be great. Looking to see how viable it is to the current base game wins. Want to see who our new enemy is? Yeah, I'm very excited for that. And yeah, going forward, this will be the new sort of stream time that we have, because yeah, Jess and I really need to get our sleeping patterns on track. But yeah, it just means that we can be more energized for the streams that we do. So yeah, thank you all so much, everyone, for hanging out with us. It has been a brilliant stream. We're going to leave you in the safe hands of Fireball Annie. And yeah, today we did surprise legendary sigil. I was not expecting to get another legendary sigil done. So that is 4 legendary sigils done on EU. This account status as the main account has been further cemented. And I think next will be teeing up some legendary runes. So yeah, that's going to be very, very exciting. Once we have that, then honestly it's kind of like weapons just left. And that's just It's a very good one to sort of like chip away at over time, just one weapon at a time. Might do a big focus on EOD ones. I don't know, could do something on Hinge to get all the EOD like weapons and all their skins. That would be absolutely hilarious. If we do it, would take us absolute ages. But we're getting closer and closer to full legendary. Thank you to everyone who came along for strike missions and raids as well. That was a fantastic time. But yeah, let's go and tee up this raid now. And yeah, we'll catch everyone on Wednesday. We're going to be doing some raid trainings or maybe some strike missions on NA as well. And then I think, will we stay on NA or will we do something on another account? We'll see. We might jump back to EU and continue shenanigans on here as well. But yeah, so thank you all so much for hanging out. We're going to catch you all on Wednesday. And yeah, you'll take care. Thank you for hanging out. PK as well. Everyone, really appreciate you being here. You will take care. We'll catch you all in a few days. And cheers. Secrets of the Obscure has brought us the Wizard's Vault, and with it, one of the best ways to make sure you are perpetually flush with gold. So today, we're going to work out how to extract as much gold as possible from your vault.
I just peed on gold.
And really jumpstart your wallet, which is especially useful if you're a new player. Welcome back, friends. With the release of Secrets of the Obscure, our old daily login reward system has been replaced by the new Wizard's Vault. And with that, we have a whole new way to make gold that is actually very lucrative. The new Vault currency, Astral Acclaim, is incredibly easy to learn and does a great job at taking you all across different areas of Guild Wars 2 that you wouldn't otherwise get to, and works very well as a login reward system, I think.
Hello, you're back.
You can take this Astral Acclaim and then go through and exchange it for all manner of different rewards, which you can see here. I've already taken advantage of a good number of these. There's lots of different useful things you can get here. We have crafting bags, transmutation charges, mystic clovers, build storage expansions, heavy crafting bags, ascended weapon and armor chest. There is so much here for us to get value from. But I hear you asking, there's so much here, where should I put my Astral Acclaim if I'm just wanting to focus on making as much gold as possible? So today we're going to walk you through that so your Astral Acclaim purchases can be perfectly well informed. Before we jump in, we're going to be using the Fast Farm Insight to get an idea of where the most valuable things are in the Wizard's Vault. I'll include a link in the description below. This is an incredibly useful site if you're looking to convert any currency in the game into gold in the most efficient way possible. First up, we have the Legendary Weapon Starter Kit, which is by far and away the highest value thing you can possibly get from the Wizard's Vault. Here in your starter kit, you're going to gain a precursor specific to your weapon, either a gift of magic or a gift of might at random, as well as the gift specific to your